Hello and good afternoon, everybody. Wow, that is good timing, Kerflop. Nice work. That was impressive. Good timing. Thank you so much for the sub. Thank you so much to Trendane as well for the resub. I appreciate it very, very much. You are all lovely people. And yes, 15 millenniums. And oh my God, nonstop with the resub also. Good gravy. Thank you all so much. I love that, by the way. That resub message is good stuff. Thanks, nonstop. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. I couldn't even get into my introduction because you guys just fired up the subs. I am very appreciative of that. That is a good way to start the day. Thank you so much, and welcome everybody to day 56 of Adventures in Middle-earth Wilderland Adventures. I am your humble lore master, Arvin Eleron, and I am going to be shepherding our intrepid adventurers, actually letting them shepherd themselves, through a battle for the crossings of the Selduin, which we will talk about in just a second. But before I get there, let me remind everybody about ways to support the stream. If you haven't done so already, please follow the channel. Please check out the YouTube channel with !ArvTube, which has the past 55 days of this. Hard to believe we've been going that long, but it's been so much fun, and we're in the home stretch of this set of adventures, but not overall. So there's that. Definitely check out the Twitter with !ArvTweets, and please go over to my Twitter to retweet this stream because we want to be able to let people know outside the Twitch community. I should say that both in the YouTube and the Twitter community, I've had people, including people like Wise Growth and others, who have found us through the YouTube and through Twitter and have then come over. They would never have been on Twitch otherwise, and they become valued members of the community. So this is why I like to do things outside of just Twitch, because that way we can get people in and broaden our community, which is what we want and try to do. So please head over there to do that. !ArvCord will let you hang out with the Arvanauts in between streams. That's always appreciated. And you can find out about all of that and my schedule as well on arvineleron.com, which is the website for this channel. On the financial side of things, we have, of course, the shop, !ArvShop, which has got material for Infinity and Beyond, which is my campaign currently playing Curse of Strahd, and also has material for Adventures in Middle-earth with Terry Toon's amazing illustrations, and you should go over and get that. These are great Christmas presents, folks. If you're like, listen, what's the thing to get for that hard-to-please person in your life? What you need is someone who is traveled across Middle-earth and illustrated by a professional cartoonist. That's what you actually need, and so you should check that out as well. The Patreon is currently sitting at $3.13 because we got a $10 patronage jump in from Echo Alpha X5, so thank you so much for that, Echo. So we are now up to $3.13, which is awesome, so let's continue to push upwards on that. That really does make a difference for the channel, and it also makes a difference as well to subscribe to the channel. We are now sitting at about, I think with the resubs today, 64 or 65 subs as we head on towards our year-end goal of 80 subs. That's what we're trying to hit towards, so we're only 15 subs away. We're also only about 15 followers away from 5,900, which would be a nice little milestone too, as we head on towards 6,000. So please consider jumping on board with all of that because it really does make a difference. Last but certainly not least, as Coven Guy was nice enough to post just there, please support also the stuff that we're doing on a publishing side of things. !Icarus to pre-order my Icarus and Jellinek graphic novels, the art for which is just amazing, and I can't wait for more. Oh my God, Kerflop with a tier 1 sub gift. Thank you, Kerflop. I appreciate it, man. Thanks, dude. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. The generosity of people like Kerflop and Coven Guy and many others have really, really helped, and all the people who are resubbing for themselves. So thank you so much, man. And so what was I saying? So yes, so so Icarus, !Icarus, and last but certainly not least, !Grayshade KS. !Grayshade KS will let you check out my Twitter announcement about the my Grayshade Universe Kickstarter, which is launching in March, which will have the Grey Assassin trilogy novels coming out in succession, but probably only one a year, just so you know. Grayshade 1 year, then Renegade, which is the sequel, the second year, and then the third year will be Heretic. 2 of those books already finished, just going through edits with Mr. John Helfers, who is editing it. And then, of course, we have a board game being designed by Dylan Pertolo, who's responsible for the Shadowrun Sprawl Ops board game that made over $100,000 on Kickstarter, an up-and-coming designer at Linvander. He has designed the board game. I've played the prototype. It's awesome. I cannot wait for you to see it. That's being published by Clarion Game Studios. And the last part of the Kickstarter, that's the official part of it anyway, is the tabletop RPG, which is being done by Aaron Rosenberg, veteran of many, many games, books, tie-in novels, originals, etc., game supplements, and so forth. Even owned his own game company, in fact. And that is going to be put out by our good good friends Alligator Alley Entertainment, who have done Tales and Tomes from the Forbidden Library, which is now just in final edits and should be out to people in PDF form in January and should be out in print form to people by February. So we got a lot of stuff going on with that Gray Shade universe. And there's also, of course, voice work, a audiobook being done by Mr. Trendane Sparks that's going to be part of this, and other surprises. So I can't wait to talk more about that, but that's happening in March. So I am super excited about all of that, and I cannot wait for more details about all of that. Yep, that's 100% right, Kerflop. You were on it. You are 100% correct. But today we have got day 56 of Adventures in Middle-earth Wilderland Adventures. At 4 p.m. today, I will be over at GOG with Pen and Pixels doing D&D with GOG Storm King's Thunder. And that's what's going to be happening as well. And the list is updated, Echo. I have updated the list, so you know you are all set to go. I have updated it, and you are in for your inspirations. I did that earlier this morning, so we are all good to go with inspirations. We are all caught up. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to unmute myself so the folks know that we are ready to go. And then I'm going to unmute them, and then I'm going to head over there, dun, 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 to show these lovely people, and the fact that the Popo have found them, and I didn't realize that was going to be the case.
I think it's actually fire trucks.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, then
no, it's fine. It's not the cops. Things are just on fire.
That's fine.
That's much better.
Yes, this Ottawa's on fire. I'm sure that's okay. I'm sure that'll be fine. But it is my great pleasure to have my players with me. I wanted to bring them in first before I talked about something which is going to be important. I mentioned this elsewhere, but since this is the first time that we've played since this announcement, I wanted to make this again. Those of you who have been following Adventures in Middle-earth will know that Cubicle 7 announced that they will no longer be publishing Adventures in Middle-earth as of next year.
What?
That is because
what?
Yeah, so Z, this is why it's important.
No!
Yeah, they are not going to be publishing it or the One Ring. They were actually within I think 6 weeks of releasing the second edition of the One Ring, but apparently they had licensing difficulties with their licensing partner, Sophisticated Games. There's a lot of back and forth in terms of who said what to whom and who actually left and didn't, and it's all a little bit up in the air. But the effect of it is it means that they will not be publishing it after the first half of next year, and that means that they will also obviously not be sponsoring us because they won't be publishing anymore. Now, the things that I want to say about that's related to this campaign that are important are, first of all, Sophisticated Games has said that they have no intention of letting at least the One Ring. It isn't clear what they're doing on Adventures in Middle-earth, but I happen to know that AIME is one of their most successful financial lines, so I think it's unlikely that they would let AIME go either. But in any case, they're definitely not going to let the One Ring vanish, so they will be picking it up in some capacity, whether they then license it out to another person or whether they do it themselves or whatever is unclear. But it looks very unlikely that the One Ring / Adventures in Middle-earth are just going to vanish. The second thing, as far as our campaign is concerned, is that this has no effect, in my view, on our ability to do this campaign. And the reason is because even when we get through Wilderland Adventures, we have a whole other set that I already had planned, and which fortunately I already own in both PDF and print, of adventures that I was going to take these folks on in terms of the higher level stuff, stuff which sort of deepens and increases their, this is assuming, of course, they survive the Gibbet King. There's no guarantee of this, but let's just assume, for the sake of argument, that they make it through the night, right, as they say. They will have a chance to go further. And the thing I want to say to all of chat is I adore this adventure. I've explained why. I love these players, first of all. I also love this story. I love being in Tolkien's universe. It's very meaningful to me, as everyone knows and has heard me say many times. Tolkien was a huge part of my development. It's one of the reasons that I read and end up as a writer and college professor at all. So I have no intention whatsoever of giving up on something which brings a lot of people, including myself, a lot of joy. And I'm pretty confident, although I don't want to speak for the players, but I'm pretty confident that the players aren't going to be like, nope, I'm out, and like flip tables and leave. I'm guessing,
wasted 2 years. Like
the whole thing was just... So we are not going to be affected by this, other than to say that Cubicle 7 will no longer be sponsoring it. But what I would like from chat, which has been with us the whole time and which has so many, if I went through the people that have saved the players with inspirations, the non-stops of the world and the many others that have Kerflop Hops and the many that have jumped in, Echo Alpha, of course, and many others who have supported us through the years. You all know who you are. So the thing that I want to make clear is what I would love chat to do is to be able to spread the word about the show that we do here, because I think a lot of people, some people, even when they were talking about this, were like, I don't know, Adventures of Middle-earth, does it even have a streaming presence? And people were like, well, and a couple people, not me, were like, hey, you should check out this campaign going on Arvin Elrond's channel. And they were like, wow, I didn't know that this existed. And you know, we've been doing this for a couple years now, and it just shows you that people don't always know that things are out there. So the more that they hear about this campaign, the more that we can broaden out our family here and broaden the community that we have here, and continue to bring work that was really valuable set in Professor Tolkien's world, that values narrative, that values community, and that literally from the title of the first third of The Lord of the Rings values fellowship. So I hope that we will be able to count on you folks to do that and to continue to be with us. But from the point of view of the play's not going to change. I've got plenty of stuff left for these folks.
Because the play's the thing.
Because wherein we'll catch the conscience of the One Ring. Okay, no. Anyway, but yes. So anyway, I was just wanted to make that announcement officially. No more Cubicle 7 sponsoring us. We do thank them that they sponsored us for as long as they were able to. But we will continue, and we will forge forward. And if it turns out that Sophisticated Games or one of the others brings back AIME, I will of course speak to them about the possibility of getting picked up by them, because hey, these folks are the best. If you want to see what Tolkien looks like in gaming form, these are the players that you want to see doing it. So,
oh yeah, especially me with my sophisticated form of speech when I, because, like, I mean, everybody knows here that English is my first language, but like, it's especially difficult for me to like speech in like a medievally way in English. So like I always use words and phrases that like do not fit even remotely into sentence.
Listen, that's fine. It fits I think the kind of the feeling of the wandering spirit that you possess, that you're able to just bring different elements from different parts of different cultures into the speaking. It's and by the way, this is a fully international event, may I just say. Tren and I are both from the US. Well, Tren's from California, I guess that's the US. Just kidding. Not originally, but Tren and I are both in the US. Will now is in the US, but Will originally from the UK. Terry, of course, in Germany. Amal from Canada. So, we have an international...
Will was briefly in Canada. Will's clearly like taking the Pokemon approach to nationality at this point.
Is that how it works? Like if he lives there for a month, that Canada just gets to keep him? Is that how it works? Like
God, I wish it worked that way.
Me too.
So great.
Yeah. But anyway, so we are very excited to have an international presence. So enough of that. I just wanted to make that, since that announcement came out and I haven't had a chance to talk about it on this campaign since. So that is the deal with that. And we thank Cubicle 7, but we now move on. And with that, I'm going to move down to Mr. Trendane Sparks, who is an officer and a gentleman, and who is playing a very large and troubled, because of the situation they're in, healer. Trent, how are you? How's life, the universe, and everything? And who are you playing, to which I just referred?
Well, as far as being an officer, yes, actually I am.
I know, that's why I said it.
that would be correct. In my Worgen guild, I was recently made an officer and then pretty much stopped playing. Wow. When that happened, which I warned them was very likely to happen. And anyway, but it's the holiday season, so we've kind of dropped into a whatever, not even remotely what we're talking about. But the gentleman thing, no. So who am I playing? I'm playing, as mentioned by this gentleman up here, and I can actually call him a gentleman.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, Rhodes Scholar. How do you spell Rhodes?
RHODES.
Okay, that's all I need. Thank you.
Although when I was a kid growing up, I always thought that was ROAD, like you go on the road.
Right.
I didn't realize.
I was recently watching an episode of Stargate SG-1, and Daniel Jackson's like, the teachers of roads, like Stargate's like, I'm like, no, that is not how that's spelled. Who wrote this?
Yeah, exactly.
So whatever. Maybe in their universe, it's whatever, doesn't matter. So, playing a guy named Tawny Bear, the Hearthminder. He is a Beorning master healer who has, count them, 3 healing die left. Do not get messed up, people. He's only got 3 more uses to that thing.
Troll's like, I'll keep that in mind.
Right, exactly. It would be nice if I had, vampiric healing, but that's not really a thing in in Tolkien's universe, because that would be cool to just kind of reach through the portcullis and go, excuse me, hang on, I need these, and just suck HP out of him and put it in somebody else. That would be awesome. But no,
not so much.
Yeah, so he is sitting off to the side waiting for a kid to come back from the docks that he sent to go get fishing nets. Yeah.
It's going to be good times.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see that happen or not. We will see how that occurs in just a minute. But always a pleasure, of course, to have Tren with us. Also, always a pleasure to have. Well, actually, I was about to. Before I do that, I should talk about Will, since Will's not here. We normally at this point would introduce Will, who plays Robar Staunton, but unfortunately, Will is sick. He has got a fever, and since Will has got a bunch of stuff happening this month that is rather important to him personally, it is rather more important that he get rest than that he be here to fight off a troll, although admittedly some of the party disagrees with this and thinks that he needs to get his priorities straight. But in any case, no, Will, of course, Will Jones is an awesome guy, and we really love having him here, but unfortunately he is not feeling well. So get well soon, Will, and we will have him back soon. We may not have him back in our next session because of this. I don't know if I'm allowed to mention what this is, am I? I
presume not.
Probably not. So, but anyway, it's important. I'll just say that that is involved with him. So he may not be here for the next session, but he'll definitely be back, of course, in January of next year, since these are our last two sessions, this one and the next one of 2019.
I think you might be mistaken there, Arv. I mean, January is not for months, though. January is like next year, and next year is still very far away.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a year away.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I that's true. I should not accelerate the process. Even though it appears, if I just look at the map, that we're only about 21 days from a new year, that's clearly inaccurate. And
look, it's 2020. It can't be 20.
I'll tell you right now. Actually, I'll tell you right now, Mel. For those of us who have been following politics in this country, next year can't get here soon enough. Specifically
That's
next
fair.
November. So,
That's fair.
Yeah. As things are beginning to move, hopefully. Anyway, we'll get better, Will. We will talk to you soon. And moving right on down the line, of course, someone who is healthy in here and is ready to go, and that, of course, is Terry Toons, who is back with us. It is good to see you, Terry. How is life in the universe with you, and who are you playing?
Everything is good, and I would like to wish everybody finest Sinterklaas. Because it was St. Nicholas Day a few days ago. And so finest Sinterklaas to everybody in the Netherlands and Belgium and Curaçao and wherever else that's celebrated. So I got my candy here that I got.
Nice.
So yeah, among other things. It's so nice to celebrate that instead of Christmas, because you get your presents earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, do you celebrate it instead of Christmas?
Well, in the Netherlands, well, not instead. It's I know over here in Germany, it's we celebrate both, but you only get presents usually on Christmas.
Oh, okay.
But in the Netherlands, they do also Christmas, but Sinterklaas is a way bigger affair than Christmas.
Oh, so now we see. So the real reason that Terry has this very involved relationship now with her boyfriend from the Netherlands is to get presents on two separate occasions. This is a very clear and obvious.
I just want to have the Krampus as my boyfriend. Why is that so difficult?
Because I don't know. Ask the Southerners about that. We don't do Krampus up here.
Okay.
Over here, it's Knecht Ruprecht is the one who brings the presents here in the Rhineland. So yeah, he's what is he? A forest hobo, basically.
Our tradition is a forest hobo.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically, he's this dude who lives in a forest. As this, it's really unkempt. He's kind of if you would take Björn and Radagast and made them into one, then
Okay, I can get behind that.
So could I.
I realized the minute I said it that was not going to end well. Yes.
For him it will.
Just go, Terry. Just go.
But yeah, so that happened this weekend, which is nice. Got a lot of presents. Got the new Pokemon game, which is great, and I got Baldur's Gate for the Switch.
Nice.
So that's nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Technically the collector's edition, but who'd have thunk that one was going to take a bit longer than they anticipated, which has been a thing, I feel, with all of these CRPG collector's edition. That was a thing with Siege of Dragonspear, that was a thing with both of the Pillars of Eternity games.
Yep.
So it's just nah. It's fine.
Yeah.
It will get here eventually, I'm sure. And we, no, I'm not gonna say that. Otherwise, they're gonna come and get me. But we accidentally got a game too much. Too many. They sent me 2 instead of just 1, which is nice. But yeah. So yeah, that happened. So yeah, I'm full of good food and candy and stuff. So and yeah, aside from that, to get to the topic of this here live stream, I guess I'm playing Inge, daughter of Ida. She is a dwarf of the Erebor, and she has a trusty pony sidekick who is far, far away from all this mess we've gotten us into.
Yes, did I mention he was strapped to the back of the troll? just kidding. Just holding him in his hand, like ready to throw.
So, dear watchers, since you didn't hear that part before, things went online, but we were actually talking about what happens after this adventure was happening, and and Arf joked about players leaving, just like that. I'm like, keep it going, Arf.
We all have our deal breakers.
Yeah.
I'm joking, of course, or am I?
Always a pleasure to have Terry with us, and of course, I wouldn't dream of harming a hair on Lilymon's head. It wouldn't be me doing it. It would be the ogre.
Because that happened.
Anyway, moving right on down the line, of course, we have last but certainly not least a tired but very, I hope, happy to be with us, and we're very happy to have her, Amal Omatar. Good to see you, Amal. How are you? How's life in the universe and everything with you besides being tired?
Besides being tired, I'm pretty okay. It's the term ended. Well, classes ended on December 3rd, and so I'm in kind of full on marking things from this term and also prepping syllabi for next term and just all of that stuff. But it is very hard to do all at once at the same time as writing a pilot and trying to finish my dissertation. So every day is just a kind of exercise in not finishing things because these are all long things, and it's very demoralizing to work constantly on things that are not finished. So it's very exhausting and sad. But a thing that is finished and that is finished in a manner of speaking and constantly bringing me joy is this book over here, which is in my office now. It's my little shelf of pride that I have things in.
Awesome.
But I also noticed there's like a me. That's me up there too. There's like a framed article that my parents framed for me because they're proud of me. It's very nice. So it's just been a really wonderful time for Time War because all of these end of year lists are coming out with best of 2019, best SFF of 2019, stuff like that. And it's been racking up a lot of love there, and that's been really great. So it's like, I feel like my life for the last few weeks has been exhausted by marking, perked up by book, exhausted by everything, perked up by book. And it's been an okay cycle that is getting me through. So anyway, that aside, it's my birthday on Friday.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
It's bad luck.
What?
That's bad luck. You can't do that. We had this discussion about
for the love of God.
Oh dear. Well, actually,
you do have your Krampus club, whatever the hell you call that competition, thing over there. You eat your candy and whatever.
Do you know my birthday is actually a saint's day also. It is Saint Lucia's day. And in Sweden they wear the crowns of lights on their heads and stuff, and yeah, that is cool. I've always really loved that was my birthday because there's like a tiny Swedish connection in my family and stuff. So but anyway, yeah, so that's more or less what's going on. I feel like I'm forgetting something obvious. No. Anyway, probably
There's
alive.
your face on the wall behind you.
That is my face on the wall behind me.
Was that there last time? I don't
No. I brought. So I've been trying to decorate my office. Look, I have some things. I have like a couple of things on the wall. I've got this procrastinating poster. I don't know if you can see that. Are you procrastinating?
I'm familiar with that.
Courtesy of the goddess Danielle Corsetto. But no, the thing that's on the wall here is when I won the Hugo Award for Seasons of Glass and Iron, the Ottawa Citizen had an article interviewing me and stuff, and my parents insisted on getting like a digital edition of it so that they could frame, and they have a copy, they have like a framed thing of it at their house, and then they gave me a copy, and I was like, I can't have a framed article of my face in my house, that doesn't make any sense. But I have it in my office, which, you know, is
You need to do
thing.
You need to do this thing that they do in TV shows and movies, where like they have like a photo of themselves behind them, and then they do like exactly the same pose as in the photo.
Let's see, can I do that? Can I do that?
Yeah, it doesn't work because your arm is cut off, sadly.
But yeah, anyway, I am playing a character called The River, who is a woodsman of Rosgobel. She has a faithful hound of Mirkwood named Stone, who is absolutely wonderful and so great and so good. And she is a warden and is basically a fighty bard. And her axes have seen a lot of action.
I asked you a question. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Oh God, she shouldn't say that.
You can say it on several occasions. Just be like, "What is this? Rivers doing this?" It's like I'm trying to get a new stupid sense of humor. And
if you, I can't remember if I asked this before, but there's a comic that I love called Order of the Stick.
Yeah.
Oh God, I haven't read it in forever. I have to look up and see what I've missed. Anyway, Order of the Stick. There's a fighty bard there, except he's more bard than fighty. But the way that they managed to make him effective in fights was to get him to multi-class to like some piratey thing where he gets to use his charisma bonus instead of any other kind of fighting bonus when he's fighting, so long as he makes a pun as he like stabs someone. So long as he is like engaged in witty repartee, he gets to use his charisma modifier instead, which I think would be a cool thing. No, River's fine with her dex bonus. I don't want to change that, but yeah, it's cool.
That is really good. I would like the idea if that actually was because of Order of the Stick that your character in Tolkien was adjusted. Like, this is something we would not have expected. You're like, you know what really matters is what does the Order of the Stick think about it? And you know,
yep.
But no, I highly approve, of course, the Order of the Stick, and it is a great pleasure to have Amal with us. Let me, by the way, just two quick notes. One, let me just say that that book, The Cellulose of Time War, is excellent. Really, really excellent. I've said this to Amal off and on air. Really, really good stuff, and I was exceedingly impressed. And so it absolutely deserves to be on all those big lists. Secondly, I'm just going to share my current pile of papers that just came in from my students, and I get to start doing exams. Will start coming on Thursday, so that's
Great.
the glamorous life for the professor after I do committee work with people asking for tenure tomorrow, so that'll be good. But then the last thing I wanted to say is I understand about not wanting to, put your own picture up, but I get that. But I'll tell you what, there will come a time, many of them, where you will have the experience of feeling like you just, you're like, I can't imagine, I don't know. It sounds weird to say to someone who's won a Hugo about imposter syndrome. I don't mean that, but just this sense that like, can I handle everything that's being thrown at me? And it will help to be able to look around and see, as Flying Enemy said, nested photos of yourself 5 deep when those things happen. So yeah.
No, I have been extremely there a lot of the time. It's funny. This is like a brief thing before we get going, but like, I don't tend to feel imposter syndrome about writing, but I do feel it about a lot of other things, and about teaching in particular, is kind of this rolling experience of just never feeling good enough for what you want to do, and you want to like give students the best possible experience, and just like, so that is a place where I feel very keenly the need to like shore up my self-worth with, oh yeah, remember that time a good thing happened. And so definitely.
Yeah. So and super well deserved. So but it is a great pleasure to have Mal with us, and it's a great pleasure to have the whole crew with us. And with that said, let us get ourselves underway. I just, while you were doing that, was adding just a few friends to the mix that I thought was important
Friends.
to kind of they just wanted to say
they're
hi.
friends to somebody.
They just wanted to say hi, and that was all that mattered.
I guess.
But let's get this.
To respond to Koala Man's statement, I have to quote. I almost said Pierce Brosnan again. No, it was the bad guy from Die Hard. Oh man.
Alan Rickman, Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber.
But yeah, those two.
Yeah.
Hans Rickman. When he looks back and he's like, "It's Christmas, Theo. It's the time of miracles.
It's the time of miracles."
Yes.
God, I love that movie. I really have to watch it again.
Yeah. Well, it's Christmas.
It's Christmas time, so
it's a Christmas movie, so you got to watch it.
The best part of that is where the vault first comes open. They start blasting "Ode to Joy," like as the thing is open. It's so great. All right. Anyway, hey, Koala Man, what's up? So let's talk a little bit, folks, about what we have going on. The party has come to Seldowin, and has come to try to stop an imminent invasion. An army, which apparently is commanded by dark forces, about which I will speak more in a moment, has come forth. They set this up ahead of time by trying to poison the vast majority of the defenders who might have been able to protect against this. And they did a bang-up job of it, actually sort of leveling most of the forces of Dale, at least temporarily. In fact, it could have been far worse were it not for the quick and decisive work of healers, including Tani, who managed to keep a bunch of them alive. Nonetheless, they were in no condition to march, and so that has put them dangerously behind as this huge army marches from the south to try to cross over and then sweep through Dale, and then all the way up to Erebor and who knows where from there. All of this being run by this dark force, which the party has learned is known as the Gibbet King. It's not clear what, the Gibbet King. It's not clear whether or not the Gibbet King, what exactly the Gibbet King is, but it seems to be some sort of dark spirit that the party began to notice and encounter, really in its dreams or perhaps nightmares some adventures ago. Then saw more examples of this when they saw the huge chain that was apparently near this possessed spirit, and there seems to be something which is commanding the forces of the enemy to sort of march forward. And so the party came, sent by King Bard himself, with instructions to try to hold the one major crossing of the River Running, which is at Seldowin, as much and as best they could, to sort of delay them until Bard is able to rally what forces he does have and come down to relieve them. And so the party came down to do this. They found, unfortunately, that the master of the town was none too pleased with Dale and with Bard more specifically, and therefore did not really believe the party, not so much didn't believe it, but felt like the party, that he was not in a position to actually hold back this army. And so he ended up rebuffing the party's best attempts and sent his son across to treat with this invading army. They rewarded him for this trust by spearing said son and throwing him over the side of the bridge and basically saying, "We're going to come kill you all now," basically.
Sure, he'll be fine.
Say again?
I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be okay. In the meantime, the party, though, has not been idle. It has attempted to rally as best it can the villagers there. It has assembled troops, in quotes, which is not really a whole lot that it has to work with. Maybe at this point, there are only about maybe 10 or 11 kind of able-bodied townspeople that are remaining to fight, at least ones that have some kind of weapon or could do something. They do have a very strong gate, which they are able to defend, and they do have the benefit of having 4 very experienced people, 5 if you count Stone, working with the town to be able to prevent further attack. But unfortunately, the attack nonetheless has claimed the lives of some of those townspeople, and the party finds itself in its most desperate hour. It did manage to repel the first attack of goblins and wolves. In fact, there was a couple of important moments where they managed to shoot down creatures that were swimming across the river. Inga managed to shoot down one goblin that was trying to climb to the top of one of the towers, and managed to take him down. And so the party repelled the first assault, only to hear the drums of doom, if you will, and to look over the bridge to see the next wave coming, and that next wave was a massive, over 10-foot tall hill troll chief, which seems to come out of Mordor, wearing a menagerie of armor from various victims, wielding a heavy hammer, and escorted by a dozen goblin archers, who basically were telling it to go, go, kind of screaming in goblin and common, to kind of yelling at it to go attack the gate. And so this enormous thing is lumbering across the bridge as the second wave begins to close in. It is still probably at this point late afternoon. The sun is hidden because of the huge flocks of crows that are circling overhead very unnaturally. Obviously, this is intentional. And so it is easy and it's possible enough to see, but it is certainly as dark outside as it feels dark within the townspeople's hearts. But the party still remains. The party is still, if not uninjured, at least the party is not quite close to death yet, although the party has taken damage. And so the party has got work to do, but I am now going to hand things back over to them. Just with one quick check. Stone, I believe, is still at 20 out of 20, if I'm not mistaken. And River, I think you're at 27 out of 39.
I think that's right. That sounds right. Double check. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I've got.
Inga, I believe I have you at 30 out of 40.
Correct.
Okay, Robar is at 35 out of 36. And Tani, I think I have you at 27 out of 35. Okay. And Tani, Trent, do you mind running Robar Jaeger for today? Okay.
I've already got him set up. Ready to go.
Quick
Awesome.
question.
Yes.
Am I misremembering that Robar got healed by Tawny last time?
He did.
He did, but he was in much worse shape.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying is on the map right now, he looks like he's still in the tower, but is he not in fact?
He would be
No,
down.
he went back.
He went
go
back
back?
up to the tower, I think is what he said he was going to do, because he came
Okay.
down and ran and went back up there because once he heard about the troll. I believe where you said is where he wanted to go, yeah.
Okay.
Great.
So...
I think that the troll approaching might be time to light that bridge on fire. I think that and the sooner the better, like the farther away he is from the gate, the better, perhaps. Yeah.
So you want to do the Carrie Elwes from The Princess Bride, which Coven guy has never seen, line, and just say, light him.
Oh God, I forgot that was a line from Princess Bride.
I thought you were going to quote the part where he's just like, hit it again. It's like, God damn it, Hans, you made your point. Now let him come back. Thank you, Mr. Cowboy. I'll take it under advisement. Hit it again. And then he just fires the rocket down at the...
A dozen guys down here covered in glass.
Also, the best line of the movie has to be where the helicopter's dropping and the assistant chief Dwayne G. Robinson just looks to one of the others like, I guess we'll have to get some more FBI guys. Like as the helicopter is like crashing to the ground. Anyway, sorry.
That's not in The Princess Bride.
No,
Princess Bride is awesome. Princess Bride is also great. Also
I was
great.
like, that was a helicopter in Princess Bride?
Die Hard.
What? Okay, I never saw Die Hard, so.
I guess I'm saying this out of character, obviously, but I figure if like Robar is the one who is in the best position to set it alight, then that would be up
he
to.
is, because he's got that other barrel with the other oil barrel is up there where he is.
Yeah.
So you can like fill like a little thing and throw it down or whatever.
Of course, we now have to trust to Robar's marksmanship to light the bridge on fire.
So Inga would like to run up there and also do that in case Robar fails.
Okay.
I mean, okay, this is the way I see that. So if Inga and River are next to each other right now and they're both seeing this troll coming, River will definitely like stare for a second and then sort of say to Inga without really taking her eyes off the troll, we need to burn that bridge now.
Yes. And like, is the rope still down that was hanging from the tower?
One that the goblin fell off of?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Inga's gonna like climb that and like shout up to one of the bowmen to like pull her up.
Okay. All right. So let me just back up a second. So we can do that, but what I'm going to allow the party to do is I will allow you to each take an action before I ask everyone to roll initiative, because the troll right now is basically, booking it as fast as he can go across the bridge. So I'm going to give the party a chance to basically do one thing, and then we'll roll initiative and see how things go from there. So Robar is up in the tower. I'll allow him to do whatever, and you could do this in any order. So Ing, if you want to start climbing the rope, you can do that. I would say that you would start that this turn. They would bring you up by next turn, but then you can still take an action. So in other words, you can move.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But you're not up there yet, though. You're going to be on the side of the wall for just a moment. So you're going to be down here right now. This is not, but I know that usually you don't have a situation where you ever are on the edge of a wall hanging on to things while you're being attacked. That never happens. But anyway.
No, unheard of.
You'll be up there in a minute. So, okay. So the river and stone, what do the two of you wish to do?
Run into the
They're gonna
gate
run-
and
yeah,
get a
the-
spear.
Yeah, they're gonna run up. They're gonna run up to the gate, if only to coordinate the spearing efforts and stuff, but also the river needs some healing. So running up to the gate, but to Tawny first, I think.
Okay. So I'll allow you to do that. Stone can follow you. Also, Wise Growth has inspired Tawny Bear. So thank you, Wise
Nice.
Growth. And everyone, again, inspirations are reset. So if you have inspirations, as John McClane says, smoke them if you got them.
And if you don't got them,
and if you don't have them, then don't worry about that. Yes, there we go. Thank you, Coven. Okay, so go ahead and move your tokens back over the river and stone. And then Tawny, as your action, you can, if you wish to heal her, you can do so.
No. I mean, yes, please.
You're like, instead I'd like to read you a story. Like, no, please just heal me. Okay.
Once upon a time, there was a dream.
And you hear the drums, like the horns burn. What,
Yes,
God.
those are the sounds that were in this dream. It's
the
amazing.
hilarious thing is that if River were trying to heal someone, that's basically what she would have to do.
Yes.
Oh,
She'd have to sing a song.
It's a power chord, though, in your case. It's a, it's a dramatic, so.
So you want some healing, huh?
Yes, please.
All right, then. You may have 17 hit points back.
Wow.
Woohoo!
wow.
Nice work. Okay.
I'll take it.
So,
Yes, you will.
So that takes me up to full again.
yep.
Great.
And that should give you how much? So you got 2 heals
39.
left, Tawny? If I...
Correct.
Okay. Also, let me remind the party that you have 3 of those preparation dice that are left over. And remember
Communal.
Sorry?
Communal.
Communal, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Not 3 each, 3 total. And the preparation dice are a d6. You can add that result to any one attack roll, damage roll, saving throw, skill check, or adding the result to your AC and reaction to one attack. So just remember that and think about the fact that you've got that sort of pool of 3.
I think
that is there.
also Tawny still technically, if he were to attack someone, has the benefit of an extra d4 from the
Okay,
slaying.
yep. The Song of Slaying, yep. Okay. So, there we go. That is that. You were there. That's good. Okay. Then in that case, I am going to pull up the turn order. Don't do anything yet, because I'm going to try to not do our double thing that we sometimes do. All right. Now I'm going to ask folks, please, to roll initiative. And I'm going to do the same for the bad guys.
Right, so when we click first and then roll initiative before we drag ourselves over, or we drag ourselves.
Click
and-
click on your icon on the
Yep.
thing.
Token.
And then, thank you, that thing. Click on your token and then click the word initiative.
That's right. Okay.
Robar Storm, king of the Vale, rider of eagles.
That is always funny.
Natural one.
Soon- Oh, Jesus.
Tremendous.
Uh,
Well, you're busy healing. Like, you got,
Yeah.
17.
Okay. Let's see. So,
well, at least my initiative is not the worst one in the party, so. Yay.
all right. So.
Oh wait, it's got Robar as having
Yeah,
the 2.
Because
instead.
I did not follow
Oh.
my own instructions.
Oh.
I still had myself
have
selected.
chosen.
So I will do this, and then I will say 2 for mine, and Robar actually gets a 15. Okay, there we go. Now you can order them, and it'll be right.
And all right, so that's that. All right. Okay, so we have, let's see, let's sort this in descending order. All right, so we have the river, who is at 17. Are you going to want Stone to go after you or before you, River?
I think after at this point.
Seems logical. Okay, let's see. Inga with that 6. Quality
Heroic.
6. Let's see. Robar with the 15. And Tani with the 4. Wait. What is it?
No, it's a 2.
It is a 2? Okay. I saw that
You
second
rolled a
roll.
natural 1.
Yeah, I just saw that second roll and I was confused.
That's because I didn't click on my token.
Oh, because of the right. That's yes. We just had this discussion. That's true.
Yeah. Thanks for catching up.
Oh, as I'm just sorting this out on my sheet, just quick note, just because I thought of you the other day, Amal, specifically the river, because I found on YouTube there is this person whose name now escapes me, like the stage name, who does the hurdy-gurdy.
Oh my god, yeah.
And it's like, I forget what her name is, like Polly Hurdy-Gurdy, or I don't remember what it is. But anyway, she was doing a cover of Sweet Dreams, the Eurythmics, like on Hurdy-Gurdy, and it was surprising how well it worked. And I was like, and she's like on stage looking a little bit more like sort of bardish than I think fighty bardish maybe. but anyway, if you get a chance to, it was kind of cool. It was one of those things
I'm
I'm like,
pretty sure
it actually works.
Stu must have
Gertie,
been
sure.
watching that because he like I was doing I was like focused on something and only sort of half listening to him, but he mentioned hurdy-gurdy and like hurdy-gurdy, that's just a hilarious word, and I was like, yeah it is, I agree, and he didn't inquire further as to why he was commenting on this.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if like the internet zeitgeist had made this happen.
It was cool. I actually really, that's one of your favorite instruments, Coven. Yeah, it was neat. It goes really well with that sound, because that sounds kind of droney, that song anyway, so it kind of works for this. Okay, all right, let me move this up here. Okay, so first to act is the river. You were up first. What would you like to do?
Can an action of hers be coordinating everyone at the gate who has a spear, like just kind of rallying them together?
For sure. There's not necessarily going to be a mechanical aspect to that. I mean, you can. I mean, yes, you can certainly do that.
I'm thinking of like, actually, I'll tell you what. No, wait. I'm beginning my sheet again so I can see everything. So, I think actually what she's going to do is do Song of Slaying again.
Okay.
I think she's gonna, so that's the last of her Warden's gift die that she can use before a short rest. And she is going to use it to kind of, this will be part of the rallying aspect, to just raise her voice again in this keening, terrifying to enemies, rallying to allies song, and kind of direct everyone's attention to the oncoming threat.
Okay. You were able
Pulling
to...
her axes out, meanwhile. Yeah.
You were able to do that. And as you do that, Stone kind of, howls next to you in sympathetic harmony. And that is going to lead us to these creatures. So the wolves drop back and actually come back off the bridge. And you get the impression that they're being sort of, so they kind of go back to this side of the river. And these goblins fall back to the bridge as well. Actually, no, I'm sorry, the goblins don't go yet. I take that back. The goblins don't go yet, but the wolves do. So the wolves move back here, but that seems to be very, like, they kind of, not slink away, but they kind of, walk fast back and then sort of growling at you on the other side, so that you're just left now with the troll and the two goblins behind him. Although you don't know what the goblins are going to do yet, what those goblins are going to do. But
One quick question before we do this: Did Robar take his action before initiative?
actually, I don't think he did. He just went up to the tower, and he had been up there before, so he could take his action. You're quite right.
I'm always like, I don't know. I'm trying to think about setting bridge on fire logistics and when that would have happened. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's totally up to you.
I think we should probably wait with that.
Well, my thought was like while the bridge was full of people, that would have been the better time before they start retreating. But
I would wait.
It's not like we can coordinate, obviously. So sadly, it will fall to Tren, I think.
Well, he would know what the plan was with regard to setting the thing on fire. So he was probably starting to reach for like a small clay pot that had a little, cloth fuse sticking out of it, and get ready to light it, and then see the goblins. It's like, maybe not just yet.
Right.
So, I mean, he may be pretty, but he's not stupid.
No. Okay.
Okay, so does that mean that he's just going to stay where he is then for the moment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make a comeliness check, I guess.
Exactly. You pass. You are indeed pretty. They just make that up.
Boo.
Well, I was saying this about his character. I thought it would be inappropriate to talk about anybody else. All right, so that leads us to that was him. Okay, so that was Rabar staying where he is. Now the bad guys go. So now these two remaining goblins drop back, and I swear to God, I will never put this in the right spot. There we go. Let's put this over here for now. So now these drop back, and you can see now a little bit about what they intend to do, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, that's the right number. Because all of them, at a whistled signal from behind them, pull out. They already have their bows, and they pull out arrows, and they lift their bows up, and you can see from the distance as you're watching them that some of the arrowheads seem to be flickering. And then they go loose, and or something similar to it, and the arrows fly up and over. Now, it's important to recognize that this is a pretty long way. I think we said these were 5-foot squares, did we say? I think we said 5 foot, right? So 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 40. So this is like at least over 100 feet, and yet you note that the arrows seem to have no difficulty getting over and actually clearing the tower, as if there is some special, perhaps, ability that is being used. Who knows for sure. And let me move that back over there for the moment. Like that. And so the arrows fire up. So these arrows are going to land on the other side. And I'm going to give... I'm trying to think of who the person is that will have most exposure. I think Stone and the river are close enough to the gate that this is not going to affect them. But Tani, you and the two townspeople that are, or / soldiers that are next to you, I think are going to be subject to this. Okay. And not all of them are going to aim at you, but there are basically 6 of the 12 arrows will aim in your direction. The other 6 are going to be past them. So 6 among the 3 of you. So you'll each have to dodge 2 of them each, basically. So these arrows are going to come down, and let's see how they do. All right, so the 2 arrows on you are, let's see, this is a 20, not natural, and a 10.
The 20 hits, the 10 does not.
10 does not, okay. All right, so you were hit by this arrow, which stings, I mean, not just because you've been hit by the arrow, but it seems to burn even after it hits. And I will need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Hey, the wound is instantly cauterized, so good, right?
Yes, exactly. This is not one of the flickering ones, actually. This one does not flicker, this arrowhead.
Dislike intensely. Do not want.
21.
Okay, so you're able to sort of ward off whatever this is, and you kind of there it is. You sort of ward off whatever this is, and as you kind of pull the arrow sort of free and look at it, clearly, Tani, this is poisoned. You know enough about medicine to know it, and you know that goblins, in their cowardly way, will often poison some of their arrows, and so clearly they are using some of that. And let's see, so that is that one. Let me see about the other townspeople. That's a terrible miss. That's a hit. That's a terrible miss. And that's a terrible miss. Okay. So the guy next to you. Okay. So, all right. So the one right next to you gets slammed in the chest by this and kind of staggers back to one knee. He looks terribly hurt. And he also begins to feel like, kind of pull up at the arrow and kind of retch as if something, if it's like what hit you, you have a feeling you know what poison he's experiencing. And so he's just sort of on his knee at the moment, kind of retching. The other one manages to dodge out of the way. The other arrows that shot past you were not apparently poisoned, and as you look around with some horror, you can see what they were intended to do. Several of them have landed in the roof of one of the nearby houses, and you can see fire beginning to flicker up from the top of that roof. So, poisoned arrows and flame arrows, with these guys shooting from the other side of the river. Okay, and also the other side of the river. Okay, that's going to lead us to, and they're going to stay exactly where they are, cackling at their handiwork as we go to Inga next.
Am I on top of the tower yet?
Now you are. So you were brought up, you're on
Okay.
top of the tower, and now, as I said, you can take your act. I'll allow you to sort of shift with the other townsperson if you want to be in the spot with the arrow slit. That's fine, yeah.
Yeah, Inge is gonna start commanding the remaining people here, basically to do an arrow salve. Is that what you call it? Salve. On the
Salvo, yeah.
salvo. Okay. On the troll.
Yeah, this is the classic, bring them down, bring it down. Yeah, got it. Okay.
Kill that troll, and if it's the last thing you do.
All right. They will follow your instructions. You're going to fire as well, I assume.
Yes, I am. Like the Song of Slaying that River played, like that was a D4, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, then I would like to have every archer take their D4 for hitting.
Okay.
If
I will have them roll for that, but you're going to fire off first, and then I'll have them roll.
Okay. Fire when ready. That
All right.
would be an 18.
An 18.
Like, and if they don't hit, then I want like the D4, otherwise 2 damage.
So, an 18 does indeed hit. I should say, by the way, that this creature seems to have, I think I mentioned already, but like pieces of armor from presumably its other victims. So it's kind of this mishmash of things. And I don't know if I have the...
That just means there are a lot of gaps in it.
A lot of gaps, yes. A lot of things you can hit. So yes, that does indeed hit.
Okay. So
go ahead and
oh
roll
yeah,
your
my
damage.
second attack.
Oh yeah.
Get 2 attacks. Oh, I'm assuming
Also a
23
hit.
also hits. Yeah.
So damage on both.
There, and I'm gonna take my D4 with that as well for damage.
Okay.
So that would be 14.
14 points of damage. Okay.
Yeah.
So you hit this thing in the shoulder, and right afterwards, a cry goes up as the attacks rain down from your small little band in your tower. 3 of them miss into the water. You're a little bit disappointed about that. The 4th one, though, does hit and does an additional amount of damage. Not a strong blow, but definitely does hit it. And you can see the creature doesn't even seem to be slowed down as this thing's hit it in the shoulder. In fact, it kind of sort of looks down and then it just kind of roars forward with its club held high. And moves surprisingly fast for its bulk, actually. And you can see, River, all of a sudden you get, I don't know if you get horrified, but maybe Stone does, because you realize this thing has no intention of slowing down. So it literally is bolting towards the gate, like
Oh my god.
club upwards, as if it means to just ram through it.
Is the gate closed or just
Oh, it's closed.
It's
No,
closed.
like it's like a two gate, like
The portcullis is
Portcullis.
down. The gate doors were still open.
The gate doors are open because that's the only way that they could, stab through with the spears.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
I
but the
see.
portcullis is down, yes.
Okay.
Oh, I
Um,
see. So maybe we should shut those gates.
So this thing is
Are they-
coming. This thing will absolutely be. I mean, it's running at top speed. This thing will be there literally next turn.
Okay.
Close the gate! Close the gate!
Close the gate.
Yeah, I didn't realize the gate was
No, me neither.
Otherwise, I would have had her shut it the first turn. I will. Yeah. Okay. Well, we know what we're doing next turn. But yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, there are still some soldiers down there. Like, they can close it, right?
Yeah. Presumably that, and I think that like there'll be some like we can probably spend a preparation die on holding the gate if that comes to it. So.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
we have some
Those things.
preparation.
Yeah.
Preparation ones.
Preparation.
Okay, Tawny, you were up, and the river's gonna be on deck.
Well, with no one to heal at the moment.
Well, there's the guy.
Please. Actually, that does bring to mind a question. Because you told me that the arrow was poisoned and I had to save against it, but did the arrow actually do any damage? Because you didn't tell me any damage it may have done to me.
I think I did actually. It did. What did I say it did?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
I think I. Well, I have you at 22 out of 35 now.
Okay, if that's the case, then. So I did 5 points.
5 points. That sounds right.
Okay. Because I missed that part.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah,
I
in
was
between,
like,
in between the
what?
poison part. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was, yeah.
Then in that case, with my just at a glance, does this guy look like he is in imminent danger of dying right now?
There's a pretty
Okay,
good
okay,
shot.
I
He's
don't
not
care
going to
anymore.
make it very long.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just realized I
pretty
don't really
badly
care
hurt.
anymore. It's not that I don't care anymore. It's that Tawny has higher priorities. So he is
Just throw a
throwing-
bandage at him and run away.
kind of, yeah. Healing grenade.
man.
Which reminds me of
Healing
of
in
a
the
scene-
hole. Just
Kind of. It reminds me of a scene in The Sleeping Dragon by Joel Rosenberg where like one of the guys is unconscious and they're like, "Did we just pour the healing drop down his throat?" It's like, what if he choked on it? It's like it's a healing drop. It's not going to do anything. Just do it. And anyway, so Tawny is bolting for that gate, or at least
Okay.
his to try and drive it closed.
Yeah, I mean you're pretty close to it, so you can actually try to get that gate closed. Now, these gates are very large, and it's going to take probably 2 people per gate. So to close it. Fortunately, Inga's work on this gate has meant that it's going to be able to close a lot more easily than if she had not done that. So you have to have another person. So if you wish, you can call to one of the other townspeople.
yeah.
So the guy next to you kind of like half looks over and then kind of like falls on his face. Like it's pretty obvious he's not going to do it. There is one more able-bodied one who comes over to join you. This one I'm just going to put in the back. And I'm going to put the he's very hurt tag
How
on him.
considerate of him to like move out of the way.
He
for
well, he
dying.
just kind of he fell backwards more than like if anything. But this other one comes in and starts helping you close it. Your guess, Tawny, is that you'll have it closed by next turn. Like you'll take your turn closing it. It'll be closed by next turn. It won't be locked, and you don't know what the effect of the troll hitting the you don't know any of that yet. But so yeah, you should have it closed by next turn.
As I'm passing the river, Tawny will hand her the arrow that hit him that he pulled out.
Okay.
here, it's a poison goblin arrow. Here, take this. Shoot it back. Send it back to them. Whatever.
He's just holding it like.
I'll just hit it with my axe. That's what I'll do. I'll just like baseball.
Thought you had a bow.
No. Okay.
And the river's
so that's up. So talking of locking the gate, is locking the gate something she can do? Following them shutting it?
So the thing about locking the gate is that Inga was able to fix a lot of it, but not necessarily able to fix, make it like it's basically a bar that comes down over it to kind of close it.
Right.
It's a wooden bar, not a metal one, and you don't know how long it'll hold, but you can certainly try to do that. But the problem is the other door needs to be closed before you can do anything, and he's only doing this door here. So right now there's 2 doors,
Okay.
like this and like that. And so Tawny is closing right now the door, this one that's on the this side right over here, and so that
Okay.
other side down there is still open.
Okay, well,
This one right
she will be shutting that door with him. And Stone will be heaving his bulk into it as well, like the good doggo he is.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, is that probably... Yeah, I think that's what she's going to do on this turn then.
Okay.
But she's also going to shout up. Actually, never mind. Doesn't matter. It's up to Robar, I guess, whether he wants to set the troll on fire. Whether I don't know if it would be better or worse to have a flaming troll ramming the gate.
Roar!
Yeah.
Roar!
Why not reason with it? It might be misunderstood. Yeah, it could be misunderstood.
Yeah, maybe
Flaming
it's just
troll.
been cold
Ha, ha, ha.
all this time, and all
Right.
it really wants is a lovely, warm, crackling fire to slowly consume its flesh.
I was going to say, we're about to,
We'll do it that service.
You could hear it like as it coming towards you. Christmas time is here. Like it's like,
but it's all in troll, so
yeah. Okay. So you do that. That's going to lead us to Robar. What is Robar going to do?
Set the world on fire.
And Robar, by the way, has 2 people in his tower, as you can see, but they are injured at the moment. They can still function, but they're hurt. So,
he is going to looking at the folks across the way there, that's not the way the plan was supposed to be laid out. Now,
Yeah.
one of the things that we had discussed before was that that he's got the other barrel up there, the other oil barrel up there, and the plan was to have like little clay pots or something that he can just scoop up oil and throw it down and to effectively that's what he's going to do. He's going to scoop up as much oil as he can and just dump it on top of the troll
okay.
or around the troll, whatever. Just
So that's on the roof, right? Of this
the
thing?
oil barrel.
It's
is,
got to be,
yes.
right? So he can do this. What he's going to have to do is move up to the roof, because technically he's in that, second level, but not
Oh, with the
roof
arrow
yet.
slits,
Right. So he could climb up to that. I'll allow him to do that. And then if he wants to push it on top, that's fine. Be aware that that does make him more of a target. I'm sure you may already know that, but I'm just letting you know. So he gets up there. So you're trying to have him push the barrel down to smash in front of or on the troll?
Not the whole barrel, just scooping some of the oil out of the barrel.
Oh, I
and
see.
Dumping it down on the troll.
Okay. All right. Or is he now? Here's the thing: is he just kind of, because this is a huge 10-foot tall troll? Is he just kind of flinging handfuls on it, or is he trying to like?
That's why I said we had like clay pots and stuff up
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Okay. All
You
right.
can break on him, presumably.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And even if they miss and hit the bridge, then that's oil around the bottom.
So
of the
I will
troll.
allow him to say. I will allow you to say that yes. It won't be the Towering Inferno yet, but it's a start. So
Right.
I will allow you to throw 2 of those pots. Because I will say that you have, let's say, 4 pots up there that
Okay.
are sort of smaller than the barrel. So you can use 2 of those pots, and you can chuck them down on them, and I'll let him do 2 of those. I will need him to make a basic ranged attack. Is basically what this is.
Okay.
So basically just you adding your dexterity, I would say. I don't think he's proficient in clay pot, so I'm just going to, even a Dunedain.
Got a D4.
That's true. Because he's used the D4 by now, I'm sure. I keep forgetting, you had the new Song of Slang. I beg your
Yeah,
pardon.
exactly,
Yes, that's
yeah.
true. Yep, that's true.
Okay.
So he could do that.
So-
He could add that if you wish.
Yeah.
Song of Slaying with a pot breaking.
So just
Yeah.
a dexterity check then.
Yeah, I guess so. But you're going to add the D4 to it as well.
Okay. So here's the dexterity check itself. For a 5. And we will add the D4 to it, which is a 2 for a total of 7.
Okay. That is definitely not going to hit the troll.
Doesn't have to hit the troll. It can break on the bridge, and
Yeah.
that's just as effective.
I have this image of it hitting the bridge, but just sort of not breaking, just standing in front of him. It's like, damn it. No,
Damn this adamantine clay! God!
shouldn't have
Like
made him out
with
of
water
titanium.
balloons when the air bubble in there is too big and
Right, and it just kind of
bounce
bounces
instead
around.
exploding.
Oh, man. No, it does actually smash on the bridge. And so oil kind of gets just, it doesn't hit the troll, but it gets right to its feet and like looks down and then back and then looks up and like just murderous fury in its eyes. And of course, you know, at
gets 2
10 feet,
attacks.
at 10 feet tall, well, this is 2 pots. I know he's got a second pot coming, but this is his reaction to the first pot. At 10 feet tall, I should say that he's not that far below the top of the roof. Actually,
Yeah, I was about to ask, like, how tall is he in
with
relation
his
to the
arm.
bridge?
So yeah. So these toll gates. In fact, I really need to check that now. The toll gate. Let me just check that, and I'll let him do a second attack in a second. So let's see. 2 stories. I think it's 16 feet. It's probably about. The roof is probably about 15 feet, I would say, high. So maybe 16 feet, I guess, to be on top of the roof. So he's pretty close. He's got long arms. I'll have to think about that. Anyway, it may not matter because he's also charging towards the gate. So he sees it and he may not have a chance to stop. And then he just sort of looks up at you as he's charging for a
I mean,
second.
that's scary, but it does also make it seem like, wait, shouldn't it be a lot easier to hit him with a clay pot?
Yeah.
You have to talk to Robar about that. You'll have to speak to him. He's not going to get advantage on it.
So there's the gate, and then the rooms with the arrow slits are on ground level.
No, rooms with the arrow slits are on the second level. There is no room on the first level. The
Okay,
first level
and then-
people are in front of the gate, not in the towers.
Okay, so, and then he's on the roof, so that would be higher than 16 feet, I would.
No, I'm saying he's at about 16 feet. Because
Okay,
I'm
thank
assuming
you.
that
All right.
each one, because I'm assuming that each floor is about 7 feet high, and then the roof of that would be about 2 feet. I'm going to give it, so that's 16
Okay.
feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Second attack, not the same as the first. Excuse me.
Yeah, much better than the first.
Much better than the first. Not too much room to go down with this. 19.
Hey,
Woo!
that
And
hits.
then he doesn't get the +4 for this, right?
Right,
No.
right. But that hits though, and that breaks over his head, like, "Rrr!" and kind of again does not really slow him down, but he sort of, he sees and feels the oil that is on him. Now again, does not cover much of him. It's a pot and he's 10 feet and all that stuff.
Yep,
But there is some that's on him.
Is it scalding oil or is it just there to make him more flammable?
We've been hauling it with us from Dale.
Yeah.
It's probably not that warm.
Not scalding.
I wasn't sure if it was in a pot over fire or not, but yeah.
No, you did. You
Okay.
you had thought. I think you actually had even talked about the possibility of trying to do that, but there was no time to set it up.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I couldn't remember.
So you do that. Okay, now
Does he have any movement left?
does he have any movement left? No, not once he gets to the roof and drags those things back
Okay.
over, because he's got to also dip the pots in the oil and then
Right.
So and by the way, the use of those 2 pots, I would say, has used about a quarter of the oil, maybe a third, but close to like a quarter probably,
Okay.
of the oil that's left in the barrel. Okay.
And just to be clear though, like the bridge itself is oiled. Like we did that before.
From the other barrel, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from the other barrel. That's right.
Good. Okay. Making sure.
That, and only from about, I should say, from about here on. So not like, in other words,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
on the other side, because you couldn't.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that's what I was remembering.
Okay. All right. That is going to lead us up to the goblins. And the goblins, this time you hear sort of shouted orders and people gesticulating wildly at Robar on top of the roof. And this time, the goblins again fire off. Again, 12 arrows go off, 6 of them heading beyond the tower, and 6 of them flickering. But this time, all 6 of them are heading towards Robar / the barrel. So all of them fire in that direction. So this is going to be, unfortunately, all Robar's work because no one is on the roof with him.
See, but the great thing is that these pots are made of some kind of bizarre adamantine clay.
They're
so he
titanium,
just
yeah.
holds them up in front of him and nothing can touch it.
Sure. Let's go with that theory.
There, you heard it.
Okay.
Everybody clip that. You heard it.
Critical
All right,
hit.
the GM just said we're going with that.
Ah.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
Let's see. Okay, I have a natural 20, so that obviously hits. I have a 16 on Robar,
Hits.
a 10,
Miss.
8,
Miss.
18,
Hits.
and a 14.
Hits.
So
Wait, the
that's
14 hits?
Yeah, his AC is 14.
Oh,
So,
yeah, I keep forgetting that I get like bonus. Never
I was
mind.
also gonna say, just for information, if we wanted to take a preparation die to add it to AC,
you could do
Is
that
that
after the roll.
This would.
we can do that after the roll.
Yes.
Okay.
So you could do it now if you wish. As it is right now, he's got 1 critical hit on him and 3 regular hits. So if you wanted to increase your AC, that would be an AC which would then, now it doesn't count on each roll, but it would be on like one of those hits. Or I guess you could use all of them. I mean, it's up to you, but
Oh no.
presumably not. But no, he doesn't have cover, Aaron. He's out in front on top of the roof, unfortunately. That was part of the deal. It meant that he could get some oil on the troll, but it also exposed him. So, yeah. So do you want to use any of those preparation die, Tony? Nice.
I'll put this to the group.
I mean, so the way that I've understood preparation die was that like you can increase your AC for something, which to me sounded like if, for instance, he was holding the pots up or whatever. But if it's against only one, if it's like 1 die per attack, that that feels like a different situation.
Yeah, because it's any one attack roll, damage roll, or add the result of their AC in reaction to one attack.
To one
and
attack.
each of those are a separate attack. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm not, like, is Rovar in danger of like dying from these attacks? How many attacks hit him?
4.
4. 1 critical,
One of
3
which was a
regular.
critical.
One of which was a critical, and
That's
those
gonna
are
be maximum
arrows.
damage.
So it'll be like probably 5 plus. Like maximum damage that he might have taken could be like 20, right?
Right. And the other thing I need to point out is that they were also on fire. They were flickering.
Sorry, this is really funny. It's like
But you know,
upstaging Boromir.
there's plenty of water right there, and it's not like he has any problem with getting into rivers or.
It's true. I am just imagining like just like comedy moment of him going and reaching for the oil barrel.
just, like,
to try
pouring
and
it
put
over him,
himself
like-
out, and then just
Yeah.
pour it out.
Oh man.
Anyway, so anyway, I feel reluctant to use a preparation die for this situation, just because if we use it and it doesn't significantly take any of that damage down, then that's a problem. But that's also the argument for using it. So either way,
So my question would be in this case, can we use one of those preparation die to negate the critical?
No, because this is only increasing your AC, and
Okay.
you can't increase it enough to negate a
So
critical.
in that case, it doesn't help against the critical at all.
exactly.
So that means the other 3 are the ones that are
Right.
the thing.
And
Like
his
the
AC
one that hit you. I'm sorry, Mel. The one that hit you that was tied, for example. That
14,
one
the last
obviously you would negate if you increased
Right.
your AC, regardless of what you rolled.
Right. And his AC is 14, so at most it could be brought up to 20, at least it could be brought up to 15. So it would make sense to negate the one that was tied.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I guess the one other thing narratively for me is I'd want there to be some actual connection between preparations that we did and him being able to use it. Like if it is a matter of like holding the clay pots in front of him or something like that. And having something shatter in front of him. But yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, like Yes, I think there's a
That
way to
feels
sort
pretty
of. I
thin.
think there's a way to manage that. Part of the preparation that you did was in getting this ready for this assault, and I think I even gave you one of the preparation dice was for getting this ready with all the oiling of the bridge and all that stuff. So in that regard, like even diving behind the barrel, because I'm here to tell you that a couple of those arrows that didn't hit him, did hit the barrel.
Oh,
so
shit.
there's going to be some of this happening either way.
So
Now
the barrel
remember,
could
it doesn't mean it blew up. It didn't blow up into a fireball or anything. It just hit
No.
the barrel. So
Yeah.
we'll talk about the effect in that minute.
Right. Anyway, I'm cool with it. I'm not gonna say no. Don't save. Especially because Will's not here. Like it seems uncharitable to not. But
This is what happens when you have a fever, Will.
I got a fever, and the only
That's why the
More
flaming
arrows.
arrows hit him. It is the transfer of these
Right.
flaming arrows hitting him
Right,
that's
exactly.
translated to his fever in real life.
There you
Remember,
go.
it's just
There
a
you
dream.
go. It's just a dream.
I know. I've said it many times.
The fever
times.
dream.
Fever dream, that's right. I am fine with using one of the preparation die to negate the 14,
Yeah.
the tied hit.
Yeah.
So the last hit, which means we have the critical and 2 regular hits.
Okay.
It increases his AC to what?
Oh, well, you
To
have to roll the
whatever
die
you
to
roll.
see. It's 1d6.
Oh.
So.
Yeah.
Because it's possible that it will negate even more. 6.
Okay.
So that brings his AC to 20, which means the 18 also misses.
See, this is
Well,
the
no.
It doesn't.
It doesn't do that. There's 6
Oh, because we're
separate-
using it to.
It's 4 separate attacks that hit him, so it's one of those attacks.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, it's
and it
still-
is specific in the way that it describes it here. So
Okay, right. Sorry, I keep forgetting that part because
Because it actually makes more sense the way that you're describing it. I
I
totally
could see
that.
it using for one round,
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's
but it's not. That's and it hasn't been. It has been described as not that way since the
Yeah.
beginning. So bleh.
Exactly.
So anyway, right.
So
the
for any game
14
designers listening, I definitely think
you should know that.
4 rounds makes more sense than 4 attacks, because if, for instance, he dove behind a barrel, it would make sense that it could take the brunt of the things that hit him, and that would raise his AC for the others. But recognizing that.
Yeah, I think part of it is the fact it's not so much what it does against attacks, it's that it's so multi-purpose. You can use it for skill checks, you can use it. And also there's a benefit. Most of the time these things are supposed to benefit you before you know the roll. The fact that you can
Right.
actually see the roll and then do it is also pretty strong. So I guess that's, again, I don't know. I'm just guessing that's why so.
All right, cool. So yeah, we'll negate it so he gets the critical and 2 regular hits.
All right, let's see how that all works out. So, okay, the good news is these aren't poisoned. So that's
Only on fire.
exactly. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, that's a lot. So he is going to take. They rolled very well on damage in that one. He's going to take 8 points of damage from the first attack.
Don't ask me to math.
20. Sorry.
So don't ask me to math.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So that's 27 that he's down to now. He takes 7 on the second attack. And then, as I said, it's a critical hit, so that's another 8 on the third attack. So that
Great.
means that he's down to 12.
Eh.
He got hit with a lot. Now, the other thing is that at the moment, he managed to, duck behind and kind of reduce some of this so that only one of the arrows actually caught him on fire, but he is at the moment on fire. Now, this is not going to have an effect now, but at the beginning of next turn, it's going to have an effect until he can put himself out.
Oh my god, he should reveal royalty and leap from the battlements onto the troll
That would be pretty slick.
on fire and riding him off the bridge. That is what should happen. Hi, Will. You should.
Can you imagine? Will's like, what happened? Well, you died, but boy, the way that you died was such a good way. So there's that. And then the other thing, which is also not great news, is that 2 of those arrows that missed him hit the barrel. And so the outside of the barrel of oil is now on fire. Now, currently, it's just the outside of it. But it's very much, if you remember in Return of the King, the film, where this doesn't actually happen in the book, but where Pippin sets the beacons alight, and so he's standing there, and
in the book?
and he's like,
Oh.
no, it doesn't happen in the book. In the book,
Oh,
the beacons are already lit. Denethor isn't like, no, I'm not going to light the beacon. Like, it made for a great scene where they show the beacons being lit across Gondor, so I'm okay with it, but it does not happen in Return of the King. Anyway.
That's also a thing that actually exists on the southern coast of England, that, like, in, I think, World War II.
Yes.
They, like, the lights kind of went up, so anyway.
So cool. Like, it really, really is a cool idea. Anyway, so what a barrel of fun. Exactly, Aaron. So that thing is now lit. So anyway, that moment where Pippin looks down and realizes that the whole thing he's on is on fire. There's a little bit of that with Robar where he's just like, and standing there looking at it. Plus, of course, he's on fire himself. Now, in the meantime, the other arrows come raining down, and let's see, there are 6 arrows on this side. So let's see, because there are more of you that could take this, I'm going to say that each of you are going to have an arrow that you have to deal with. Because you're now pushing the gate, River, you and Stone theoretically are subject to this, although only 1 arrow each. Tawny and his person are. And these are, again, I want to point out again how unusual it is that goblins can shoot from this range. But there's something something of some power is guiding their ability to do this clearly, because this is not normally, they shouldn't be able to shoot from this distance. But they are for whatever reason. Okay, so.
Been researching compound bows.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, wait, perhaps if we recurve. All right, so let's see. So we're going to have the one against Tawny is a 17.
Hits.
Okay. So actually, let me have you. All right, so that is going to do. That's going to do 4 points of damage to you, and then again, I'm going to need you to make that Constitution saving throw.
That brings me down to 18.
Yep.
Constitution saving throw. With a change that I'm not rolling as Robar. I'm rolling as Tawny Bear.
Yes. Beacons are lit. Exactly, Brian.
Constitution saving throw equals 18.
Yeah. So again, you manage to, sort of shake off this burning of this poison that's within you. I now need you to make a strength saving throw to see if you slip as you're trying to push this door closed, because you've just been hit by a poisoned arrow.
This
Don't-
will suck.
Don't slip. Whew.
19.
No problem. Yeah, you're like, oh, no, not this day. Okay, no problem. What about the townsperson behind you? Will the arrow hit him? It will.
Right.
Will it damage him? It will. All right, so he's hurt now. Almost as hurt, not quite, but almost as hurt as the other one. What?
Did he use his D4 yet? Because he wasn't on the rampart, so he didn't shoot.
That's a Song of Slaying, not a catch-all.
Yeah, it's only for attack.
It's only for attacks.
Ah, okay.
As opposed to your preparation die, which is for everything. So, and you,
okay.
by the way, you have 2 of those now left, right? I just want to make sure that. So we have 2 preparation dice left. Okay. Right. Okay. So next one. So let me see if he makes his Constitution save. He does. So it looks like he's not poisoned. He kind of, you hear him kind of cough a little bit, but then he, still stays with it. And you'll also be happy to know he makes his strength save too. So he continues to push with you, despite having been hit. Okay, the guy who's on the ground, somehow the arrow critically misses him. That's funny. Maybe he's rolling around in like agony, and so the arrow misses him somehow. Let's see. The one that's on Stone, it's an 18 to hit Stone.
Yeah, I think that. Oh wait, no, wait. Well, does the extra cover still apply?
Hey, big boss. The extra cover does not, because you're in front now of you're out from it because you're pushing the door closed. That's why Tawny's exposed to it as well. So as I say, these these shots are unusual. So no, he does not have extra cover at the moment.
Okay, then yeah, that will hit.
So that's only going to be 3 points of damage, but I am going to need him to make a Constitution saving throw as well. What's up, big boss?
Ugh. Oh no.
Okay.
Yikes.
It's specially formulated to hurt doggos.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Only goblins would come up with
There's
something.
chocolate in this poison.
Right, it's like chocolate and grapes and like all things that are worst. Oh my god.
Okay.
It's all right. It'll be okay. Cats can have a bit of salami. Wait,
When
damn
we-
it. He's not a cat.
When we get our t-shirts made, can we have "There's chocolate in this poison" as a tagline? I really want that.
That is pretty awesome.
Chocolate in poison.
Okay, so give me a second. I gotta grab my.
I'm deathly
Book about
allergic to lead, fire, and high velocity. and squeeze.
Oh,
Okay. It's actually poison. It's just Hershey's chocolate sauce. That's literally all it is.
I mean, that high fructose corn syrup, it's poison to us all.
Exactly. Okay. So he is. So Stone is poisoned, and what that means is that he has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until this passes. But he is. You can see that he's kind of like coughing and like doing the retching thing that dogs sometimes do, and he does not look happy.
I won't do it.
Right. Yeah, he does not look happy at the moment. Okay. And then we get the one that's on you. Will you be hit by this, the river, he asks. An 18 on you. Identical roll.
Yes.
Okay, that's 8 points of damage. They're rolling really well for damage today. Okay, 8 points of damage.
Did you roll?
Oh, wait. Hold on a second.
I don't see your roll.
I didn't roll. What?
What do you
Why
mean?
would I roll?
I rolled.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah, so you were. So you
She's
take
still
8
right.
points.
She still didn't see your roll, but
That's
whatever.
very true. Okay, so you didn't. So you take 8 points of damage to this. I will need you to make, first of all, a Constitution saving throw for yourself.
Just 1 second.
That was my thought process.
I
I
see,
thought it was
yes.
already for the Constitution check. No.
Right. I also, again, sorry, I have to look at the saving throw place. Where is that?
Right next to you, where you got strength, dexterity thing, it's just to the right of that.
Oh, there we go. Yes, thank you.
Okay, a
13.
That's gonna be close.
Why can't
let's
these poison
see.
arrows hit Inge? Like, she has poison resistance. God damn it.
He's
she can
very
take it.
sensibly inside a tower. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's not quite enough, I'm afraid. So you are also
Great.
poisoned, River.
Okay.
So
Does that mean that my strength saving check is at disadvantage?
you are correct, and in fact, I have to have
amazing.
Stone make the same one because I forgot to do that. Stone also has to make a strength saving throw. So,
okay.
so this is actually not a. Yes, it is a saving throw. I had you make a saving throw, right, Tren? Okay, yeah. So strength saving throw for both of you. So you can do whichever order you like.
Oh,
Well,
No. Okay, well, that was for River, and this one's for Stone.
Okay, so Stone manages to keep pushing. Yes, I think Iga did say she wanted to be hit with poison arrows. I mean, it's a relative want. I don't think. So Stone manages to keep pushing, but you slip actually as you've been hit by this river. So you kind of stumble, and the door sort of grinds to a halt, despite Stone's best efforts. He's not that strong.
No, but Stone
So-
is literally stronger than she is.
But, well, listen, that may be true, but it takes two of you, not one.
But I thought there was we also have a other person pushing.
No, you have only the two of you. Remember you had two townspeople that were of able body at the moment. There is Tawny with his townsperson. There's the really hurt and poisoned one rolling on the ground in agony,
Yeah.
and that's it. It's you
No,
plus.
there's another one.
who are the two guys that are right up there in front?
Yeah, this guy.
Oh well, you didn't. Okay, you didn't call. I didn't. All right, you didn't call for him. I didn't know that you wanted him to come because these two I thought were waiting for the troll. So-
No. Okay, sorry. I really.
We're just
I
gonna
thought-
close the door behind them and just wedge them up against the portcullis.
Okay.
Fuck those guys.
If you want them pulled back, that's fine. But you guys didn't tell me that.
No,
If you
here's
wanted-
what I thought was happening though. I thought that because you said that it took two people to be pushing the door,
Right.
that Tawny had one person plus him, and that because it looked like that person was there, I figured that River could only be shutting the door if it
Nope.
was her plus that.
I assumed that Stone was strong enough to be able.
No,
to,
I
was
just figured he was lending a hand, a shoulder.
No, okay. So I'm happy to pull them back then, I guess. That means they're also going to be subject to these arrow hits, though. So
I just figure that once they're doing it, everybody would be shutting the door. That's what I saw happening.
yeah, okay. That was not specified because my assumption is you've got these two guys right behind the gate who also have spears who are also trying to stop this troll. So if that's that's fine if you don't want to do that, but that would not automatically be the case. They're in front of the gate.
No,
dealing with the
I
spears with the trolls.
really thought we had shifted tactics to everyone shutting the door.
No, I didn't know that. That's fine.
Okay.
So, okay, so they can come out, but that means then that I also have to get an attack in on those guys to see if they get hit. Which, Yeah, both of them are going to be. Oh my god. Okay, well, one of the guys dead, so you don't have to worry about that.
Great.
That's
Okay.
a lot of damage. The other one is not dead, and it happens to be the one that's on your side of the door, River. So we'll see whether he makes his saving throw. Yeah, he does make his con saving throw, and then he makes his strength saving throw. All right. So then, even though you
Sorry,
slip to the
dead dude.
ground, so then as he slips to the ground. But if that's going to be the case, then I'm not going to also allow Stone to be an extra boost. So I'm going to assume that Stone is like helping,
Yeah.
but that's fine. He can help, but I'm going to assume that he's not going to be doing. You don't have 3 of you basically on the one door. So, all right. So he
That's genuinely
slipped
what
down
was
the
in my
ground.
head, but okay.
All right. Well, okay.
I'm just watching.
All right. Merry Christmas to everybody. All right.
This is not. I don't. I feel like this is like we're all doing pretty badly here. I don't feel like this is an.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. Okay, no, it's fine. So he's still there. Okay, so the door is still closing. In that case, that's fine. All right. And you would start at the beginning of this turn. Okay, so the door's not closed yet, but you guys were closing it as of this turn. So okay, good. So all right, so that's fine. They are. So this guy is still hurt, but he's up and still moving, as is the one that's with Tawny. And Stone is still pushing away. And you are slipped, but you can try to get back up and assist again if you wish, River, next turn.
Right. And both. But will it be shut by next turn? Because I thought that was the initial thing.
Yes, if all goes well, it will be shut by next turn, but it won't be
Okay.
locked. And remember, we
Right.
did talk about how that requires that bar to be lowered, so you have to get these things closed first. So you can help with the closing of the bar, I guess is what I mean. Okay. That's those things there. Yes, that was the archers. That was their attack. They're pretty happy with it. Okay, that's going to lead to Inga is up next.
Huzzah.
Kitty.
You weren't watching her getting attacked, mauled by this cat for the entire discussion.
Oh my god. Oh, it's so
Hi,
good.
everybody.
I feel like the
He
cat
doesn't
should
want
count
to
as
cuddle right
inspiration. I feel like
The cat should provide inspiration.
I feel
Yeah, I'd
inspired
probably
by the
rather that counts like as 2 additional attacks that I have to roll against. She's not in a cuddly mood right now, sadly. But yeah.
I'll be right by a break.
So everybody's dying except for me, yes? That's what's happening.
At the moment.
How injured does the troll look? Is he on fire?
Nope.
No. So how injured is he?
Barely at all.
Barely at all.
The troll, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. A little injured, but not much.
The cat is being loud. She's talking to the wall.
You know, like you do.
Like you do. Oof, I don't know what the smartest thing would be.
You have not come down here in the first place.
I guess I just fire at the troll and like keep telling the soldiers to do the same.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Well, then I will have you fire away then at your position down at the troll.
Does the 17 hit?
17 will hit, yes.
And a 20 hits then as well.
Yes, for sure.
Neato. That would be 7 points of damage.
Okay. And I believe, have you used your new Song of Slaying since she did it last time?
Like there was another one?
She did a new one, yes. One new one. As of
Okay.
this session new, I mean.
Yeah, you said one in the first round.
Okay, that's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so there wasn't
That's
another
how
new one.
I did those 14 points of damage.
Yeah, that's
last
right, that's
round.
right, I remember now. Okay, so yeah, so he is, all right, so 7 more damage. Okay, he takes that.
Good.
With lack of concern. No, just kidding. Okay, now they will, your intrepid, bit of a little band fires off. That's miss, his hit. Okay, so 2 of them hit, 2 of them miss. It's going to be another fire. Okay. All right, he still seems to be not slowed down particularly, but is still being hit. And again, this is all in the process of him charging towards, towards the gate. And now, assuming you stay in the same place where you are, Inga, you could technically move if you want.
No, I want to stay here.
Okay.
I guess, unless somebody calls for Inger, but like nobody did that, right?
Not at the moment. Not so far.
Yeah. Then I'm staying here. Though I would like to ask, like I meant to ask that like several sessions ago, and I keep forgetting. What did the blessing of the firstborn do again? Because I have that in my character sheet without any explanation.
Yes. So, let me double check and drop back. The blessing of the firstborn is that once per adventuring phase, so once per the adventure, you may invoke the name of Elbereth and gain inspiration. You may only do this at night when you can see the stars coming out, or when you are in a dark place and in need of hope.
Okay.
And I would argue that at this point, you're in a dark place and in need of hope, like literally and figuratively. In fact, it's almost dark enough that Amal will be able to use her "I'm in a dark place" ability. So,
Okay.
yes, so you could do that at a point. If you
Okay. Good.
wish. Okay, so let's see. That was that. Now the troll goes. So, the troll is going to literally run at full speed,
Oh!
like that,
And
basically.
collide just like that.
Yeah, basically that's what happens.
I'm gonna go tidy that up.
Is that a bunch of candy all over the floor?
No, I have like several like baskets of like random stuff with like drawing supplies and sewing supplies, and she threw like one of them on the floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cats
Why?
would never do that.
Nah. Like she jumped up off from the shelf above my desk onto that.
Okay, so let's see. So it's going to slam into it. Let's see. All right, that is with its club. That is a lot of. That's a lot of hit. Okay, so wow. It's going to do.
What did I miss?
Everything.
Let's see.
What didn't you miss is the question.
What did I miss?
Okay.
The
Let's,
troll has impacted the portcullis.
Oh no! Wait, did we use a preparation die to up its AC?
this one it doesn't get an AC against. The next time it'll be able to. Although technically, it's strong too. But okay. I am just going to note this because so that the party can be aware. It takes a lot of damage on that first hit, and you can actually see the sort of tower shakes and booms and kind of sort of shifts back and forth a little bit. And I would say, Inga, make a perception check for me, please. Actually, who can make this? Robar and Inga can both make this.
Okay. Perception, yes.
Yes.
This does not count as wilderness, I'm assuming?
No, not in this situation.
Okay, then I'm assuming I failed with a 9.
We shall see.
26.
Yeah, maybe because Robar is hyper aware of his circumstances insofar as he's on fire. But what he actually hears is a cracking sound, and he sees several bits of stonework and masonry falling off from the tower that he's standing in, as if the structure has been grievously affected by this ramming attack. And a great cheer goes up from the goblins on the other bank. And that's its turn. I think it feels pretty good about itself. And he, after that ram, he then steps back and lifts his club up as if he's ready to bash the gate again. The portcullis, not the doors, the portcullis.
Is the portcullis deformed at all?
Yes, the portcullis is bent now. It's
Okay.
not now. You only can get because you're able to kind of like glance around the side. It is deformed. It's not broken through yet, but you can also see a lot of the masonry around the edge of the portcullis is kind of falling and all that.
The reason that I'm asking is that since the portcullis is now bent out of shape, if they try to lift it, it ain't going up.
Oh
in
yeah,
its,
for sure.
In its thing. So
Yep.
it's locked in position now until they break
Until
it down.
he breaks through it. Although a couple more hits like that and it will be down. But yes, that is fair. Yes. Indeed.
Okay, so you said it was
So next up is you.
Tawny's thing.
The
yeah.
hero is you.
Pushing the door.
Okay. Yes. So the door is now closed on your side. So it is now closed on your side. Not
I
locked,
like
but
to
closed.
reinforce the tower with that adamantine pottery.
Yeah. No.
Indeed.
Mithril-infused clay.
Mhm. Which is probably a thing somewhere.
Oh yeah. This is the what's it called? The Middle Earth version of oh, I can't remember the word. The Japanese art of like repairing pottery with
Oh
gold.
man, yeah, I just saw it the other
Oh.
day.
Yeah, but with mithril for
Ooh.
extra. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that is, I had to move you in the way. Okay, so that is now closed, Tani. That was your action, but you could move somewhere if you want.
Ow! Fuck.
I love my cat. The whole thing is just,
What's the kitty's name again?
Lorelei.
Lorelei.
Death Adder.
Yeah.
No,
Lorelei.
Yeah, I just named her my murder kitty, basically. Oh, she's playing with my feathers! No! Not the coveted head.
I love the tail is just kind of like ready, attack.
So much.
Should I put her away because she's apparently a bit too distracting for everybody?
No, she is inspiring. I feel rallied and heartened.
I'm
She
inspired.
has dispelled the shadow over my heart with this.
Speaking of shadow over her heart, you should since Amal was not here to hear what you said about it's almost dark enough for blah blah blah.
Yes, I wanted to tell you that it is getting to the point where it's almost dark
Okay.
enough for you to be in your, you know,
Elbereth.
dark place. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Right.
Okay.
Which side does the bar come down on?
Uh, do you mean like right to left? What do you mean, like right to left?
Yeah,
left
I mean,
right?
is it hinged on Tawny's side and goes over to the
No,
other side?
neither. There is a large bar that's on the ground.
You have to
like
pick
a
it
piece
up.
of
You have to
wood.
pick it
You
up and
literally
put
pick
it
it up.
there.
Yep.
See,
And
again,
it looks
I
like
would
it's going to take like 3 or 4 people to do that too. This thing
I
looks
would
fairly
like to
heavy.
reiterate my statement from last session that
That
the
it's dumb.
design of this tower is stupid. Anyway,
No, it is. They switched project managers halfway through. They blew their budget.
exactly.
Someone was really eager to get to lunch every day.
Listen, this
Explain-
is the
yes.
problem with getting the low bid contract, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I was like,
Whatever Steve Buscemi's line was from that let's fly out and drill a hole in the asteroid and put a nuke down it, where he was talking about
Armageddon.
the thank you, that one. Where's his line where they're on the shuttle and it's about to launch and he's talking about how all the technical stuff is like built by the lowest bidder, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh god, that's right.
yep.
That whole thing. Anyway, again, has nothing to do with what I should be doing in my thing here.
Think of all the tax money they saved. Yes, exactly. I'll bet they're really happy about it now too.
Really a place where you want to cut corners.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if Tawny has any specifically anti-poison stuff, but but River and Stone are both quite poisoned.
I mean, he could come over and use his herbalism kit to try to negate it, rather than using his Hands of a Healer ability. But that's up to that guy as to whether or not that would actually work.
I love that when I look at you in the row instead, it totally looks like you're pointing like to a deity, which I guess is not that far off
well.
the mark here. But yes.
So you're asking me if you can go over and just, excuse me, negate the poison?
With my herbalism kit and my subsequently my medicine check. But not to actually use the Hands of a Healer ability.
Right. Let me take a look at it and see. You only will be able to move, remember. You won't be able to, you can get to them, but you can't actually do the action this turn. But I will see whether or not that actually works, what you're suggesting. So let's see. Healing lores, blah, blah, blah. Healing herbs. Master healer. I just saw Reed Mace and smiled.
Yeah. True.
Oh man, we should have Reed Mace as like part of our logo for more merchandise. Like I can totally see a very cool little
It
cattail
almost looks like a
embroidery.
sheaf of wheat with like 3 cattails at the
Yes.
top.
Yes, absolutely.
Where is your Hands of a Healer thing? Why am I not seeing this?
If you want, I'll put it in the chat.
No, I got it. Never mind, I found it.
Okay.
If you can touch it. I think the reason that they do it this way is to allow you, because it says alternatively you can spend a healing die to cure one disease, neutralize one poison, or remove one condition affecting a single target. Conditions are removed immediately. Poisons and diseases require the creature to take a long rest. Okay, not this poison will not do that. So, I would say you'd have to use Hands of a Healer. Technically, poison often requires a long rest, but that would not be the case for this kind if you treated them. So, with Hands of a Healer, but you can't just do it with the kit, because you're using the kit as part of Hands of a Healer even to do this. So, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. But you can still move to them to prepare for that if you wish. I mean, that's up to you as to where you want to move.
If I did that, that's it. Because I only have 2 healing things left. One for her, one for Stone, and nobody else is getting healing.
Yep.
So.
And we might just get hit by an arrow again next turn. I
Yeah.
think it's best to hold this in reserve for now.
So basically what Tawny is doing is he's pulling a Fifely and has got his back against the door.
Yes,
just
gotcha.
holding the...
Seems
holding the
oddly
gate.
familiar.
Hold the door! Hold the door! Hold door!
Oh.
All right, so you've got your back into it. All right, you do that. You now hear this crackling sound from behind you, and as you look around, you can see that the fire on the roofs of some of the villages, some of the houses, is starting to spread a little bit. And you hear some people, kind of women and children, are running about. Some of the you see what might be one of Eric's granddaughters, running over and trying to help with like buckets of water and so forth on the roof. Okay.
They may not be fit for combat, but by God, they can put out a fucking fire.
I'm remembering that Inga instructed people to pull a lot of water from
Yes,
the
there
river.
are a lot of them there. Yes, there are a lot
Yeah.
of buckets there for sure. They were ready
Great.
for that. Yep.
Because that's the thing. I was
Yes.
gonna say that also narratively seems like a preparation die situation.
I think I may have given you one for that. That you got preparation dice for, although it might have just gone into the general town preparations. I'm not sure, but yes, for sure. I mean, they do have buckets of water already set.
Great.
Otherwise,
Okay.
they'd be going
Someone
down.
else is taking care of that,
They
basically.
yeah,
can
yeah.
have their kids hold their mouth full of water. They just toss the kids up on the roof, and the kids just...
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it works. Okay, so we are back up to the top. We are there with the river. So you are a poisoned river that doesn't have any hit point damage to you. It just means, again, you have disadvantage on attacks and ability checks till you get clear of this. That said, you were able to now close the door the rest of the way. So that is now closed. As was the case with Tawny, that means that is your action, but you can still move if you wish to some other place.
Okay, so wait. So closing the door took 2 turns?
Yes. I took out a townsperson by accident, sorry. Yes, closing the door took 2 turns, 1 to start, 1 to finish. And now the door is closed. Now, it's not locked yet. If you want, you could run over to where the bar is lying on the ground and start doing that. But, I mean, it wouldn't, next turn is when you would actually do it. I will mention that mechanically, if all 4 people do it at the same time, it should only take 1 turn to put the bar in place.
Okay.
To lift it up. It doesn't have to be you, but it needs to be 4 people.
Are there 4 people at the door now?
Yes, there are, because of what we talked about previously with the other
Okay.
people that are there. So yes, there are. That's counting Tawny as one of them, but it's Tawny, townsperson, and then if you are one of them, there we go. If you are one of the other ones, because the one that's on the ground here is very poisoned. And is not really able to do anything. So there's 1 able-bodied, although hurt person left. So if you go with them, that'll be just 4. River.
Yep. Yeah, she's gonna lock it.
Okay. So we're going to move over there. They're going to move over there. So that means next turn, you will lift the bar into place. Stone, unfortunately, can't do much here except offer moral support.
Is it dark enough yet to invoke Elberoth?
I would say at this point it is dark enough, yes. You may
Then
do so
I
if you
think
wish.
yes, I think that what she's going to do this turn, and to partly kind of remind everyone who remembers of this, is that as she is in pain and clearly poisoned, and this poison presumably makes people cough, so it's going to be coughing and in pain and stuff, and just in order to rally herself as much as anyone else, shout in her bardic carrying voice, "Bart Albereth!" and just start.
Very nice. So you gain inspiration. You are now inspired by the name of Albereth. And you can sort of, it might be just your imagination, but you wonder if maybe the troll, falters a little bit, but that might just be your imagination. But it certainly seems as if that you feel your heart lightened somewhat by this. Okay. So, that is you going to the bar. Okay. So Stone, because he can't really help with this, Stone could theoretically just, you could have him go do something else if you want. But there is, of course, the danger that he'd be exposed to arrow fire.
No, he's gonna stay near her. Although, can he be holding an action?
Depends on what the hold is, I guess.
I think he's just gonna be in like a kind of ready defensive position if necessary, I guess.
Okay, so like if a creature shows up, he'll attack it type of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Then you can do that, sure.
I also wonder, and this is only because of my dog and what he does, does, like, I super don't want this to happen, but like, no, it's too silly. Never mind. Okay.
Are you sure? I mean, I'm a dog owner for a long time.
It's just, I mean, arrows are basically sticks.
Would you
And
pick
if
it
they're
up?
just like if an arrow were falling in a sufficient, like in a parabola or something, could he actually leap into the air
And catch it? Wow.
That is my question.
I'm not sure that he'd be able to do that and also focus on what's going on down on the ground. I mean, I guess if you told him, like, look up and catch any arrows, maybe he could try to do it, although it would be hard to do it. But it's possible, I suppose.
I'm gonna say that will be the action that he holds. If an arrow is suddenly flying towards them and he can leap up and attempt to catch it if it's not heading towards him, I think that'd be freaking awesome.
Okay, sure. Why not? I had this image of
He's
you being
not
like,
doing anything else right now.
I had this image of you being like, and then throw it back towards them, like in one smooth motion, like whoa, like no, that part will not happen. But the rest of it, sure, why not? I'm down.
You did train him to catch them from the side, right? Not to just catch
Yes.
them right.
He
like,
catches it with his
No.
throat.
straight down to the.
Message for you, sir.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. That is going to lead us to Robar, who, now that we are at the beginning, Robar is going to take an additional 3 points of fire damage. He is on fire, and the barrel next to him seems to be close to being on fire.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'll never not find it funny that he's literally on fire.
Well, that's okay. I have one question, and since he has 2 attacks per round, does that count as 2 actions?
No,
Or-
we talked about this before.
Okay, I just
Yeah, no, it's not.
so his action would be to put himself out.
Okay. How does he wish to try to do that?
Rolling around on the floor.
On the oil-covered, soaking floor. Or to leap into the river, or to leap on the troll. No, if he's going to put himself out, he really is going to actually have to sort of stop, drop, and roll here, because he doesn't have a lot of room. And the guys around him, they're sort of like, they're sort of shrinking back to they don't know what to do, kind of shrinking
I
back
thought
to
they
the
were
walls.
down in the arrow slit room.
They are.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's on the roof by himself. I beg your pardon.
Right.
You're totally right. Sorry.
'Cause-
Yes, that's
'cause if
right.
they
Nobody's
were up
there.
there,
No,
they would
that's
be
right. No, I
putting
take it
him
back.
out.
I take it back. They're down in the room. I'm sorry. Yeah, he's just by himself. So that means he's got about so he could stop, drop, and basically roll on top of it. He could do that. He does have to be careful because the barrel's also on fire, but he could try to do that. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So he will do that. Let me have you make here a. Let me have you make a dexterity check, please. It's not a difficult one.
I so badly want us to set the bridge on fire. Why hasn't that happened yet?
If he weren't on fire, he would be doing that right now.
Yeah.
Dexterity.
I mean, he's in the toll gate in the bridge, and he's on fire, so,
You could. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, okay, so he is able to put himself out by rolling around. And when he finishes up with that, he comes up and he smells this kind of sulfurous smell, and he can see that the barrel itself, the wood, is beginning to burn rather fiercely, and is not going to hold off before it reaches the contents of the barrel much longer. So that was his move. He could stand up.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Pick it.
So what is he doing?
He's going to push the barrel off onto the troll in the next round.
I thought that was
That's
what
why
he
I
was
was
gonna do.
asking if it's 2 attacks or 1 action.
Yeah. No, that's definitely what he's going to do. That sounds exactly what I would have expected. So but you're going to have him stand up as the second
No,
move,
he's
right?
staying prone
Oh, okay.
for the moment.
All right, that sounds good. All right, so that's going to lead us to the bad guys. All right, now the good news about him rolling around is that apparently the goblins now think that he is no longer an issue, so they move away from him now, and they are going to fire. Let's see. They seem to be out of their fire and poison arrows for the moment, so they're going to fire regular arrows, and they're going to fire these, I think, at the arrow slit where Inga is. So they're going, and they'll fire the others at the people who are down below in the room below Robar. So we will get 6 in that way. Now they of course have cover, and so it's going to be difficult for them to hit, but we'll see. 6 towards the Robar's people, not Robar, but his people.
That icon on him as him
Nice. Him prone and also previously on
full of
fire.
arrows. Yeah.
Okay, one of them is going to hit. This one that's here. Out of 6, one of them hit. That's wrong.
I didn't see him paying.
Okay. This one right here.
Okay.
And that one is going to take... Yeah, unfortunately, that's going to take him out. So he staggers backwards. You hear a cry. Actually, you don't see any of it, so you just hear a cry from inside as the arrow seems to have struck home. Then 6 arrows are going to be fired off at Inga. Inga's going to take 2 of them herself, and the others will go to the other 4.
2 arrows.
Okay. Most of these miss, but 2 of the arrows hit critically. One you and one of the people inside.
Yikes.
However, they're not poisoned, you'll be happy to know.
Well, I mean, poison resistance.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. You don't care. You're a dwarf, so what does it matter? That's true. Okay, you are going to take 8 points of damage from that arrow, which means you're down to 22, I believe,
Yes, sir.
out of 40. And one of the townspeople drops as they are hit. So you have 3 people left in here now. And that is the goblin's turn, and now it is Inga's turn.
Cool. How injured does a troll look now?
He looks more injured-ish, but still pretty strong. This guy's tough.
Like, I don't know, would he theoretically be in melee reachable distance from the bridge?
If you
like
leaped,
from the gate?
if you leaped off the tower.
No. I mean, like from where I am, because I don't really,
So
I can't really visualize right now just how far away he is.
right,
from
no,
my-
not enough that you could get a melee attack off on him. You
Okay.
could because you have a arrow slit that you could fire arrows through, and that you're getting cover as a consequence, but you can't. Plus, you'd be like aiming at his arm or something. Like, yeah, not
Okay.
really. You could get it from the gates, the other side of the portcullis, but of course the doors are closed for a good reason. So
Yeah. Okay. No. Then I keep shooting at him.
Flaming arrow at his face. It's covered in oil.
I'm assuming there are like flaming arrows like at the ready where I am.
I would say that I don't know about at the ready, but I would say that you can get a flaming
Well, I
arrow
mean, like
set.
we'll probably like put some like flammable arrows there and a torch to like light it.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Then I guess I shoot 2 flaming arrows at that guy.
Okay.
Or like I shoot one, see if that hits, and if it doesn't, then another flaming one. Otherwise, just a regular one.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. does.
9, unfortunately, that one does not hit.
17.
17 will hit. So go ahead and do your damage, and then I'll talk about the fire part.
4.
Okay. So he takes 4 points of damage, and now you can see there is a little bit of fire on his face and his head, and he's like, "Rrr," and he's kind of like reaching with one hand to the top to pat himself out. He doesn't seem to be quite as affected as you might have expected, and you wonder if like you've hit a less vulnerable area of his head. Like it doesn't seem to be like he's just like he doesn't need this head apparently as much. But he
surprising.
definitely he's a little bit on fire though. You could say. I was waiting for I was waiting for her to be like, "This troll is on fire." Anyway,
Yeah,
so,
it was more like thinking the troll
is
is
on fire. Yeah.
The troll is on fire.
So
We don't need no water. Let the motherfucker burn.
you're like blasted out of the.
We started the fire.
That's the modern re.
Yes, actually we did.
We come from the fire. Troll is in the fire. All
There are
right,
a lot of fire songs.
there really are.
And I see fire.
Okay, so you do that, and you're going to stay where you are. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
So
much I can do.
yes, so the troll is going to take a little bit of damage from that fire, and is going to pay 0 attention to putting it out, and instead is going to reach up his club and try to smash into the gate again. Okay. And does so. He slams into it again. The thing deforms even further. Lots more masonry and stuff happens, and masonry falls. It happens. Masonry happens. A lot of masonry and stonework falls now, you can see, cracking, and you can feel, it feels a little bit to you as if the tower that you were in, Inga, seems to have maybe tilted slightly to the right, suddenly, towards the impact. It's not like falling over or anything, but it's, yeah.
Yet.
So, yes, and there's sort of a great roar that goes up. These are Tolkien trolls, yes. Okay, and he's going to stay where he is, and that is going to be Tawny's turn.
Grabbing the bar.
Yep. So if you pick this up, so the way that I'll handle this is I will say that you and the river will each be able to take one of your actions to basically put that in place, but then you and the river will each have another action available to you. So that, in that way, that's how we'll coordinate it. So, so you take one of your actions to start lifting the bar, and then you can do another action, but another action cannot be leaving it, though. You follow what I mean? Like, you have to be near it because you have to complete the action. Right.
We are now committed to this action.
Exactly. So is there anything else you want to do with the other action you were given or not?
Not really at this point. This is the priority.
Okay. All right, that brings us up to the top. And River, as you are, so again, you lift the bar in place. It's now in place, falls to with a satisfying clunk as it sort of falls into its metal brackets. As you do that, you hear a very distant sound of someone from the, it's not the south, is it? It's the east, I think, on this map, calling, and it's the voice of a youngster, not a baby, but a child, maybe 11 or 12-year-old voice, sort of calling as seems to be getting closer, this call. You can't hear what, but it sounds like sort of calling for attention or, you know, hey, something's going on.
But like no horn, right?
No horn.
That's weird.
Running forward, screaming, Kyrie eleison!
I thought you were going to do St. Elmo's Fire. We're doing all of the kinds of...
That would be stupid.
If I made a perception check, would I be able to hear more? But I don't want that to be the action. But it's a passive action.
Yeah, no, I would say this is as much as you can hear unless you actively really tried to, you know, cue yourself in and listen.
Cup your ear.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. A question about the poison arrow, which River presumably still has, that Tawny handed her.
No, the one that
no,
Tawny
the one that she
handed
was
her.
actually handed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, the one that she's looking at. Yes.
Yeah. Is there any poison still on it?
It looks like there might be a tiny bit, but you doubt anything that could do any like damage. It looks like most of it ended up in Tawny.
Right. Okay.
So yeah.
Right.
It definitely looks like it was a coating, as if these things were, you know, like dipped, and not like magical in origin, but they were dipped in something and then shot.
Okay. So there's like, but my thought was like, if it looked like there was enough on it, she might be able to like. No, she wouldn't. It's too goblin-y. I was like, she could like wipe it on her axes or something, but.
Ah, I see. Yeah, no, there's not nearly enough to do that.
Yeah. And anyway, she wouldn't want to like that. Get gross orc shit all over her beautiful axes. No,
No, if
she would
she's
not
going to do that, it's going to be through high velocity.
Yeah. Anyway, so since she's put the bar down, she has one other action, and it doesn't look like there's much else she can do. She'll make a perception check to try and hear more from that child.
Okay. So go ahead and make that. Hey, upon closer inspection, you see a thin layer of Hershey's chocolate sauce on the tip of the arrow. This is what did the deed. Okay, so 16, I believe.
Yeah. I'm at disadvantage, but yeah.
That's true. I mean, do you want to use your, because you haven't.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay. You get every aspect of what the kid says. No. You hear the kid yelling something about the docks, and something about docks and a net.
Oh, like they have the net. Okay.
Possibly, yes.
Okay, so what she's going to say then to Tawny, who is presumably right there.
Mm-hmm.
Tawny, did you ask for a net?
I figured we could throw it on anybody who was swimming over.
Okay. There's someone calling about a net. Anyway.
Maybe he's got it.
That's it. That's all.
Little did they know that the townsperson, Annette Jones, was actually... No. Okay, so, Stone. Does Stone have anything that
And
Stone
her
would like to do?
sister, Natalie.
Natalie. Is there anything Stone would like to do?
Well, Stone would like to tear off the troll's face.
Yeah, I'm
but
sure.
That's not feasible right now. So, she's gonna keep on watching for arrows.
Okay. All right. That means that next up is Robar. So Robar is no longer on fire, and he is prone by this barrel of oil, which is most clearly on fire.
Well, he is going to use half his movement to stand up,
Okay.
and he is going to push that barrel off onto the troll.
I dig it. I'm going to need you to make a strength check for me, please. It is not as hard as it would have been because some of the oil's been taken out, but it is still a barrel full of oil.
Call for Elbereth and be inspired.
You could do that if you wish.
Yeah, he'll do that.
Elbereth! I love it. Okay, so he's inspired.
And he will apply that to this because I'm sure he's going to roll a 1.
No. Natural 20. That's not too bad.
Well,
Either one, yeah. So that works. So he, you sort of rams his shoulder in, and the barrel topples over and lands right on top of the troll, and the troll roars in agony and like, and is like on fire. Now there's plenty of fire on the troll, and the troll definitely notices that. He kind of staggers back, clutching at his eyes, and the goblins sort of, all the cackling sort of stops, and then. They sort of stare as the flaming troll is there.
Robar will use the rest of his movement to get the hell off this roof, even if it's just down to the next level.
Yeah.
As he's going, he's like, and runs down.
Suck it! Right, as he gets off the other things up.
You know that one of the alleged origins of this as a move is the Battle of Agincourt, where the Englishmen would say like, yeah, with these fingers we beat you because of our longbow.
Oh, I like it.
Allegedly. So I feel it's a particularly appropriate move right now. Not that he just fired an arrow, but
Completely fits. It'd be like this, some symbol for barrel or something, like, with this. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, okay,
that's the Vulcan symbol for 1, as Spock did in the original series.
That's right.
All the hippies. 1.
That's right. Yep.
Is there any chance, out of curiosity, the fieriness of the troll and the barrel is setting the bridge on fire?
That was my next question.
That depends on what happens to the troll next turn. Maybe, because the troll has got a lot of fire now, so that's possible. But it depends on what the troll does. And also, well, I don't want to say the other part because I don't want to give you guys ideas. That it's up to you to decide if you want to enhance that process. I'll say of him setting the bridge on fire. So that is going to lead us to the goblins. All right, so the goblins now are going to, I think, fire again to try to fire into these arrow slits with these regular arrows. So let's see. So 6 will go over. Now, Robar's not down on the first level yet. He just got off the roof. So
Correct.
It's all 6 are going to that one poor sap in there, although he's got cover.
effectively behind the tower.
Right, and the guy in the tower has got cover on all of it. Right. Yeah, all 6 of them miss. 6 arrows fire at the other tower.
As one of these poor schmoes is like, what's going on?
It looks like things are going well, guys. Yeah, one of them actually does get hit. 6 arrows fire, 5 of them miss, but one of them gets hit and hits the ground dead. So there are 2 left in that tower.
Right in his eye socket.
Yeah, pretty much. He was the one who was already kind of hurt, honestly. Okay, and that leads us now to Inga. So you can see there is a fiery troll below you. As all
so
trolls
is the
should be
troll
dealt with.
still attacking the gate, though?
At the moment,
even though he's burning?
maybe. I mean, you don't know yet what the troll is going to do. The troll at the moment is really upset that he's on fire, but you don't know what that means he's going to do.
Can I hold my action?
Yes, if you specify, like, for what.
Yeah, like, I want, like, to see what the troll does and then react accordingly. Because,
So-
like, the troll is, like, number 1 on
I
Inga's
gotcha.
agenda, but she doesn't know if there is any point on firing at him right now or if he's gonna back off.
So give me an if-then. So, like, if the troll does what,
If
then you will
the
fire?
troll still attacks the gate, then Ingo will do a thing.
Okay.
I will say,
A
like-
thing?
A thing?
I mean, the other thing to think about maybe is if, like, he is actually distressed by this amount of fire, that having him be on fire from above and below could be more distracting, but I really want the bridge on fire. I don't know if I made this clear.
There's
No,
so
no,
much of you that wants the bridge on fire with
I
every
really,
respect.
really do. Do you know why? Like, brief sidebar. I really, 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 really love candles and lighting candles, and they are important to me. And I have not been able to light candles for reasons that I won't get into for a couple of months, and I am extremely fire buggy right now. So I really fire
Candle?
that we are setting is good.
Take some. Take
Or
some
candle? Or
It's a
I
Christmas
have a
troll
little
candle.
candle?
Just tease her with it. Why don't
The
you?
most
It's candle?
wonderful time.
Take some comfort in this. Since Inga gets 2 attacks per round, right?
Yeah, she does.
One of those attacks will be at the troll if he backs off. The other one could be at the bridge to light it on fire.
No, I think like Inga will just keep shooting at the troll
Well, just saying.
for now.
That's why I said could be.
Yeah, but like for now, she just keeps shooting at the troll.
So
Like,
the
die, 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 die!
so we will see what the troll does, and then you'll
No, now she shoots.
Oh, you are doing that?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, like forget what I said about
Okay.
waiting her turn.
Fire away then.
Because she spoke German 3 times there.
That unfortunately is not
No,
going to
D,
hit.
D, D, D.
Not
That's
my
how
fault you
oh,
mispronounced
God.
it.
That is unfortunately a miss.
Ah, but
That is not a
one
miss
hits.
though.
5.
Okay, 5 points of damage. It's starting to look a little, messed up. Maybe.
Okay, good.
And so the creature so the troll kind of staggers back a little bit, and then it looks up at you because you've just hit it, and it roars at you with this powerful bellow that is so strong that you literally feel the wind of its breath blowing through the window. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please, for me, Inga.
Oh, sure, because she has wisdom.
Sure.
Oh, wow. Well, so you are absolutely terrified. This
Great.
thing absolutely just and you're just like, oh my God. So what this means is that it means 2 things. Number 1, it means that you have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while this thing is within your line of sight, and you cannot willingly move closer to it. That means you cannot attack it unless you take disadvantage, and you're gonna have to you you can't get any closer than where you are. You are like horrified, terrified at this thing. This is, in case you're curious, the fearsome bellow ability that this creature has.
It also just stinks of expired mackerel. It's just horrible.
So there's that, and then that is a bonus action for it. And the second thing that it's going to do is take damage from the fire, because apparently it still doesn't care enough to do anything about it. And it's going to swing, albeit at a little bit of a negative, because it is on fire, at the gate. And we're going to see whether it hits.
You're muted.
Yeah. So that will actually hit. So this thing slams, and the portcullis doesn't come down, but one end of it basically pries loose from the side of the tower, and now the tilt in your tower, Inga, is noticeable. Like, it's very much sloping to the right now, and the end of the portcullis seems to have been almost like torn off. Not enough that people could break through it yet, but very clearly it will not sustain another such hit like this.
I have a question about the being terrified part. Do I have to re-roll every round for that, or how does it work?
No, this actually will last until the end of this creature's next turn. So this will last until this will last through your turn, next turn, and then it will be over for this creature.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I misheard or misremembered. Can we use one of the preparation die to raise the gate's AC?
You can't do it on a gate's AC. You can do it on one of yourself. You can do it on, but not on the gate, unfortunately.
Okay.
That would be, I wish, but no, sadly not.
Okay.
Okay. So that brings us down to, that was its turn, and that brings us up to Tawny. With the fire, incidentally, this thing is starting to look hurt. I mean, you know, it's not like invulnerable. You are doing something to it.
So, let's see. Now the bar is in place. He can't see through it. There's no windows through the thing, so he has no idea what's going on the other side of the thing.
You can, as a free action, curse the construction, the engineering of this.
Oh,
device
he's
if you
doing
wish,
that
yes.
every spare moment. Yeah. Actually, Tawny's Tawny's not. It's not that he's stupid, but he's this kind of construction is beyond him. He's a woodwright,
Right.
so he doesn't know that this was really just stupid design. This is all player knowledge, not to metagame. All right, Tawny's going to kind of step out and look down towards where this kid is running towards them, screaming about the docks and the nets, and try to figure out what the heck is going on with this kid.
Okay. Okay, so I'm sorry, you're moving in that direction? Is that right? You're like going to...
But not beyond the end of the tower.
Okay, so go ahead and move your guy where he wants to be. So you can now see that indeed the kid that you sent is dragging this net towards you. He's probably about 25 feet away. I'll use him as a reference. We'll put this one down here. He's down here probably. So you can see him here. He's dragging the net. Seems to be having a little difficulty because it seems to be heavy. And you can see that there's some things caught in it. Like it looks like maybe a couple of spears that that seem to be tangled in it and stuff. And the kid already looks kind of like, you can see scratches and cuts. You can see what looks like there might be an arrow out of his leg too. Like he's kind of dragging himself towards you. And you can hear sort of shouts from the other side of the bank as if people may now have noted that this kid is coming towards you.
All right, yeah, so he's going to say, he's basically just going to call out, drop it, leave it there, and get to cover.
Okay, and the kid sort of hears you and sort of looks down at the net and then drops it and begins to, as much as he can, drag his way. Now, he's going to go towards the tower because that's the most obvious cover, like, because he's just in the middle of nowhere now. So he's going to try to head that way slowly because, again, limping. Okay, you can do that. Go ahead, you're going to ask.
I was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, so I can almost get to it. Yes, Tawny is going to move out to here with the remainder of his movement.
Okay.
And if possible, should any attacks begin heading towards this kid, he's going to grab him and tuck so that Tawny is the cover.
Got it.
Basically, just going to pick up the kid and
Wow. Yeah, that's a great cinematic moment. All right. Okay. That is going to bring us back up to the top of the round with the river.
Okay, so Troll is on fire. Bridge, frustratingly not yet on fire. Robar was on fire. So like, I mean, I'm just, what are options? So it looks like the tower to the left looks like it's falling. Right?
It's correct. Yeah, it's leaning.
What does that look like? It would actually threaten the people who are at the gate.
I mean, if it fell, it could crumble and possibly, like roll. But I mean, they would see it coming down, so probably they could get out of the way. You would guess. Of course, it would have really profound effect on the people inside the tower, but
Right.
But yeah, the gate probably not so much. You think they could probably get out of the way?
Okay. And okay, Robar is like heading back inside
Right.
the tower.
I assume, right, Tren? He's moving. Tren's not there. He was
Yeah.
getting off the roof. I assume that meant that he was.
Yeah, I think he said he was gonna go into the next level.
Seems logical.
Yeah, there's okay. Well, I think the thing that River is going to do, but like, if this counts as holding an action, that's great. She is just gonna like step back from the gate and like be in readiness to attack if anything comes through it, basically. Like,
Okay.
And she and Ironstone are both going to do that.
Okay.
Oh, kitty cat. And just basically, she'll for the sake of the fact that she is probably still got an arrow sticking out of her somewhere and stuff, she is going to be like, as she stares down this gate, singing Elbereth, Gilthoniel, etc. And just standing in readiness.
Okay. You can absolutely do that. And so Stone's hanging with you while this happens?
Yeah.
Yeah, the rain of arrows from above has not happened since you started looking for it, and you wonder if maybe they've used their long-distance attacks or whatever, and that's why they're firing at the tower instead of into the town. But in any case, okay, so you did that. That's fine. That leads us to Robar, who, Tren, you were having him go in that next level, right? Like back into the next level of the tower?
he's actually heading down to try to find Tawny.
Oh, okay. So, all right, so he can get down and probably get all the way to Tawny, I would guess, if he uses his full movement to do it. I mean, his full turn to do that. In 20, 30. Yeah, I mean, like, he could probably get there and even have a few bits of movement left over if he's just moving.
He'll probably get to about here and see what Tawny's doing and just hold right there because he knows Tawny's going to be coming.
Got it.
To him in a minute. Actually, he is going to go to the corner and look around and try to get a sense of what's going on in the battlefield.
Okay.
Across the bridge.
Across the bridge, the wolves are sort of in the back, and you can see now as you look across that, although it's a little bit hard to see because of the swirling clouds and sort of sulfurous smoke and the crows above, but you can see now that there seem to be more creatures, although they seem to be waiting. They're not doing anything. You can't quite make them out. They might be orcs or goblins that are back here somewhere, like basically behind the sort of main forward force. The archers are still on the banks and are drawing bowstrings again to apparently fire off at the tower, and then you can't quite see, from your vantage point, you can't see the troll, but you know that it's there. So okay, so that's going to lead us to the bad guys. The archers will again fire off sets of arrows. First of all, that one guy in the eastern side. Again, all but one will miss. Yes, all but one will miss. One will hit. Okay, he's now badly hurt. He's not dead, but he's hurt. I'll put that in the I'm in bad shape category. Then, of the others, 4 are going to fire in your direction, Tawny. 2 are going to fire at the tower. So let me get the tower out of the way first. Yeah, both of those are going to miss terribly in an attempt to hit Inga, but the cover and everything means no. So the rest are going to fire at you. Now, you said you're going to try to jump in the way of this kid? Okay. All right, so let's see. So we have a 7, and then we have a 15,
Hit.
16,
Hit.
and a 23.
Hit.
So take a preparation die.
I know, right? Yeah, because do you want to do that on one of them?
Inga, what do you think?
Yeah. That's what we have these for.
Then yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So that means that you're only hit by 2 of them.
Maybe. Depends on what I roll, doesn't it?
Well, one of them was 15, right? What's your AC?
12.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So
Please
let's
roll
see.
above a 3.
Yeah, so it depends what you rolled. Yep, quite right.
So 1d6.
Whew.
5.
There you go. Although that was Robar Staunton, King of the Vale, Rider of Eagles, but that's fine.
Yes. Yes.
That's fine. Yes. Okay. So that is negated, in fact, and you manage to dodge out of the way to sort of duck as it goes through, which means you take 2 of these hits. That's going to do 8 points of damage to you as these arrows slam into you. Fortunately, these are not poisoned, but your broad back absorbs the damage.
8 points total.
So it means 8 damage total. So you're down to 10, I believe, if I calculated that right. Okay, and that is the end of their turn, having fired at you, and that leads us to Inga.
Oh God. I'm having a bit of trouble concentrating. So the troll is still around. I'm terrified and can't really do anything useful this round, I'm assuming.
You can fire at the bridge.
Can I?
You're not terrified of the bridge.
Yeah.
Am I? Okay, then it's
You just
like,
can't
oh
move-
my
you
god,
can't-
burn, burn, burn!
You
And
can't
she
move
just,
closer to it. Now, the thing is, though, if you fire at the bridge, this thing is within your line of sight. So you are, I need to be fair, you are going to get disadvantage because this thing is still right in front of your face, literally, even if
Okay.
you're not firing at it. So
But
I
you-
need
Well,
to
I
be fair.
have 2 shots.
But you also haven't invoked Elbereth.
Oh
That's
yeah, I
true.
was about to say, by Alvarez, burn!
Okay. So you can do that, which would cancel out
Yes.
the disadvantage.
I scared the cat with that. That's
Oh! Love and I.
So 16,
Okay, and you're aiming at the
bridge.
At the bridge. Okay. All right. Yep. The bridge does not have much of an AC. You'll be happy. with that. The bridge
So
resists.
does it burn? Yes.
The bridge dodges. Yes, the bridge is now beginning to burn, and in fact.
Okay.
my fire.
And I guess with like the tower I'm in is the one that's like feeling like it's gonna fall out or fall over at any second, right?
Yeah. Well, it's leaning badly.
Yeah.
I guess Inga would feel inclined then to bolt it.
Okay. And she's got others around her, so we're gonna put.
Like she's probably gonna go down the rope that she came up on.
Okay. You can do that if you wish.
Yeah.
Fortunately for you, that rope has been poisoned.
Oh wait, there we go.
Chocolate syrup. I'm not a dog.
In fact, it inspires you to even greater heights.
Yes.
Okay, so you're gonna get out of now. What do you yell anything to the 2 people that are still in the tower as you leave, or just good luck,
not
see you at the bottom?
particular.
What's that?
Like
Say again?
she's probably like so panicking so hard that
she's pretty freaked
like,
out. Yeah.
That she's like mumbling some gibberish in Kozdul, and just like basically running down like the equivalent of like panic prayers,
Oh.
kind of.
Okay, that makes sense to me. So you are doing that. Sorry, I just.
Healed fruit
geeking out
cup
about
full of
Tolkien now.
grapes.
All right, so yeah, exactly. All right, so you're able to get on the other side, and oddly enough, the traversing of this rope is a little easier because it's not straight down now. Like that side of the wall is actually tilted, so you got a little bit of a leaning Tower of Pisa thing going on. So you can actually almost kind of
Pizza.
Batman TV show, step down basically with that. So you do that, So that is the end of your turn as you get down there. Okay, so now the troll is going to go. It is going to take more damage and is going to attack the gate one last time. Well, depending on whether it hits, I guess.
Damage.
Bam! Okay, so it does. And the gate shivers again and just sort of basically... And the gate kind of topples forwards, and on the other side of the portcullis, I beg your pardon, I'm sorry, not the gate, yes. The portcullis topples backwards and sort of slams into, you can sort of feel the doors kind of just slightly jar a little bit, not much, but just like from the impact of the portcullis on the other side. And the tower now, as you're walking down it, is crumbling and is beginning to fall, Inga. It's doing it in kind of semi-slow motion, but you can see it's sort of crumbling. You hear the shouts and screams of the two people still inside, and you are trying to get down as this sort of tower is going, and you hear this great shout go up from the other bank, from the army. Okay, and that's going to lead us to Tani. So you now have this kid, and you can pick him up easily if you wish, and bring him back with you. That's fine.
Yep, precisely.
Okay, so you bring him back wherever you want to bring him. That's fine. He comes with you.
And one look at Robar and be like,
You are messed up.
and so
Tis
Tani
but a
will-
flesh wound.
All your
of
flesh
your
is
flesh is wounded.
It's nothing.
It's just on the outside. Yeah, right. It's not like the skin is the largest organ of the human body, whatever. So yeah, he's gonna heal Robar.
Okay.
So heal. 13 points.
Okay. 13 points. All right, so he's up to 22.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Glad one of us good man.
22, and that is your turn. And that is going to lead us to the river. Okay, river. So you now hear that the gate is falling. You can see the tower is crumbling, the tower to this one over here. And the doors, the gate itself, the portcullis has fallen, but the gate itself is still closed and barred. So that's still there and apparently functional. It looks like maybe just half of this tower is crumbling, not the entire thing. So, that may be why the gate still seems to be holding.
Okay. Does it look like is it sufficiently crumbled that the troll could come through it on the tower side, like go around?
Maybe
the
it would
gate?
it would have to like break its way through a little more, though. I mean, it is stone
Okay.
and rock, and so it'd take a little while to do that.
Okay. Well, is there any? I'm just casting around for like if anything helpful she can do.
Sure.
Is
Well, I
like,
mean, she could try to. I mean, you could do more with the troll, I guess, because I mean, there is, the troll is definitely, hurt now for sure, but not dead.
Yeah.
I mean,
but she can't reach the troll.
right? I don't know whether she wants to climb up on the bridge's
You
sides.
know what?
I have no
if
idea.
if she can do that, then she will. Like, if it's possible for her to get to the troll so that she can attack it, she 100% will.
In fact, I'll tell you what she could do. This is dangerous, but what you could do is you could take her down because the tower is starting to fall and like crumbling. And as I said, it makes it easier for Inga to use the rope. You could use the rope, go up the side of the tower, which is a little easier now, and basically just, double axe, like, mano y mano. I mean, like, that's very dangerous, but you could do that.
Can she do that in one turn?
Let me see, 10, 20, 30. I would say so, because she can get around 5 to 9. What you can do is you can get up to where you're going to make the attack next turn. Because you can move around and up the rope and climb and then basically be ready to leap off. I don't think you can also leap and attack this turn, but you could do everything else.
Essentially, like the reason she's been staying there is like to be an extra barrier.
Right, that's right.
If the troll gets through. So if she has an opportunity to prevent the troll from making another attack
That's what she
now
would
in a
do.
way that she didn't before,
Yeah.
she would do that, but she wouldn't do that if it meant attacking after the troll has already battered through. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
no, you wouldn't be able to keep it from doing that. I think part of the reason you could get to it now is because its last attack that it just did helped knock the tower partly down. That's part of why you're able to do
Exactly.
it.
So like if that's the thing. Does it look like she could help anyone who was in the crumbling tower if she like?
Yes, she'd have to go up that rope again, but she could
Yeah.
she could theoretically try to do that. Yes. She's also going to be exposed to goblin fire theoretically on that side of the wall. But I mean, there are no good. I mean, none of the options are
No.
great because
No.
you're trying to hold down a town with 4 people and a bunch of
Exactly.
townspeople.
Like this is the thing. Like her staying where she has been up until this point has been because there was no way of knowing when the troll will come through.
Exactly.
So she her goal is troll attack or next most helpful thing she can do. Well,
I mean, one thing to put what I would say then is do the rope up the side of the tower because that will give you the chance to do either. Then next turn you can either help or go after the troll if you want.
Okay, so even that way, even if the troll gets through, she will perhaps have a better vantage point.
That's right. For sure.
Okay. All right, then she's gonna do that.
For sure. Now, again, remember though, you will be theoretically vulnerable to.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's not a concern of hers. Right?
Okay.
So, okay. So she will look around, cast around, and go for that rope.
Okay. So you pass Inga, right? Who's kind of like this side. Although Inga, now your fear has passed essentially at the end of the other turn, so you're no longer frightened. But you are still down. So you kind of you climb the rope as Inga's going down it, and so you have a chance to be like, hey, what? Like as you kind of jump over if you wish. So I'm just gonna put you over here, River, because that's where you are as you climb up. Stone, meanwhile, is kind of like, what do you want Stone to do? Because she's
gonna shout to Stone. Stone, go to Tawny, and just like figuring he'll be helpful to Tawny, whatever is going on, and if Tawny is able to help unpoison him or anything like that, then that will be at Tawny's discretion. So,
okay. All right. So I'm gonna have you climb up. Now I'm gonna, as you get up. Actually, because it's never mind. I was gonna have you do a check, but because it's now leaning, you don't have to do the check. So never mind. So okay. That's good. You were up there. So that leads us to Robar, who is now feeling a little better. The bridge is now starting to flame. The the portcullis seems to have been broken somewhat through, apparently. And that's where Robar is at. What does he want to do?
He is going to use his great bow, which has a range long enough that he can hit people on the other side of the river. And he's gonna shoot at people.
Woohoo!
Okay. All right. So who's he going to shoot at?
Probably this guy right here, since he's right there on the.
Okay. 10, 15,
On the
25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85. Okay, it's about 95 feet.
Well within the range
Yep.
of his great bow, which
Yep.
is 150.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
That's great.
If he had not
That's
had
a
to
great
deal,
bow.
yes, it is. And if he had not had to deal with the barrel and everything up there, he would have been shooting across the thing the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But he's gonna shoot at people stuff. All right, so
Okay.
I have Robar selected, and bink.
No, he used his inspiration already.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to figure out if he gets any bonuses for where he is.
Is he firing at dark creatures? Is that a bonus?
He is, well, he is, but I think it's already included in the thing. Yes, it's already included in the roll.
Oh, he's proficient.
See if there's anything else. No, because he doesn't have the thing in the marches. Okay.
Okay.
So
So an 11?
Correct.
That's not quite enough. So the thing like ducks out of the way and it
That's
embeds in
fine.
the bank.
His second attack goes to the same dude.
Ooh.
7.
Zigzag.
Because the dude's moving.
Yep. He matrix out of the way in both cases, unfortunately. Okay. So he was just right in the corner, then he ducks out of the way. Okay. So now...
Using his movement
Yes.
and seeing how things are going, he is going to move here.
Okay. All right. That leads to these guys. So the archers are going to fire away. Up at the top. Not that one. I'm going to roll this one. Okay. All but one. Every time it's like 5 miss, 1 hits. Which is, I guess, pretty reasonable. But this guy, unfortunately, who was already badly hurt, is not going to make it. The others are going to fire principally at you, River, as the target that they see. So, okay, let's see. So we have a 7.
Nope.
We have a 9.
Nope.
We have a 15.
Yes.
We have a 12.
Nope.
And then we have a 20, which is a natural 20. That's a critical hit. So you're hit twice, once critically, once not. So, unless you do something else, but
no. I was just gonna say, there's no cover here, right?
no,
No,
unfortunately
okay,
not.
never
That you're exposed. That's what's making it easier for you to get up to
Yeah.
the tower. But
That's all good.
so, okay. I was like, what are you doing? What's the dice roller? Okay, there we go. So let's see. So the one that hits you not critically is going to do 3 points of damage.
Okay.
The one that does hit you critically is going to do 8 points of damage. So 11 total.
11.
And I'm going to need you to make for me a, let's see. Let's make this a strength saving throw. Now remember, this is not a difficult one because of the tilt of the tower, but you are at disadvantage because of being poisoned.
Okay.
Still no problem. Yeah, no problem. So you stay on regardless. Okay, so you are still on track. That's their turn. That leads us to Inga, no longer afraid.
Inga no longer afraid. No.
I think you're muted.
We can't hear.
You're muted.
In that case, I think Inge is gonna run around to over here.
Okay.
Oh wait, the gate is like, you can't like.
Can't see through it.
No, yeah, it's a wooden gate, isn't it?
No, it's iron.
No, the gate is iron, but the bar that holds it is wooden.
So you should. So can you still see through it?
No, it's
Okay.
they're flush. Like there's
Oh,
no.
okay.
Yeah. Again, this is newer construction, and clearly not good ones, as we had made clear to us by Tani.
So it's not bars of iron. It's
No. This is a straight up door, like
Right.
like a big iron door.
Could I shoot at the troll from here?
I would say yes, because it's so
Okay.
big. Yeah, I'd say you can get range on it. Yeah.
Yeah, then I do that.
Go ahead and fire away.
Yeah, I have to like reopen my character sheet for that every time.
Wow,
Oh, nice.
that's definitely a hit.
That's not it.
That is definitely not.
So
Okay.
8 point of damage.
He's starting to look pretty hurt now, as he kind of staggers back a little bit, and Roaring kind of looks down and sees you.
Okay, and with that, Inge like runs back around the corner to get out of the fire line of the goblins.
Oh, sounds like a plan. Okay, now this creature goes. All right, so this creature is going to take more damage again because of fire. Also, there is more fire behind it as the bridge continues to... More of this fire spreads. And this creature now is going to take one more swing, try to get the rest of it out of the way if it can. Okay, so it's a glancing blow, but that's enough to actually get oh, actually no, I'm sorry, I said the gate was out of the way already because it had hit the ground. So it strides forward then. Now it's still in case you're curious, you still can see it, River, so you'll still be able to get on top of it if you want. But it strides forward and just glancing blow hits, but Robar can see this door here shivers a little bit as the glancing blow of the thing hits it. So he's now trying to work on the inner gate. And he is definitely, River, you can see he's definitely hurt now for sure. And that's going to lead us to Tani, who also saw that door and heard that door shivering.
Mm-hmm.
And not from cold. Programming note, we've got about another 10 minutes, by the way, programming note.
Okay.
So in case people-
If, as River was going by, did Tani get an idea of how hurt she is?
Oh, she's okay. She's got
Poisoned, but not
yeah.
imminent.
She's at 20 hit points.
Okay. So he's not terribly worried about her. All right. So Tony's gonna tell the kid, get back up there and help with the fire.
Okay.
You don't want to be here. Get back up there and help with the fire. And then he's going to move over.
Who does he say that to?
The kid.
The kid, okay.
The little boy.
Says the kid, okay, got it.
And then he's going to move over closer to Robar and get his quarterstaff out.
Okay. All right, he does that. And that is going to bring us back up to the river. So now, River, so he's now here. The troll is now here. You can see that he's on fire. And the two people inside with the new crumbling, one of them is not moving at all. And the other one looks very, very hurt. But and you can barely see them. Like, it's going to be, essentially, if you go inside and if this tower crumbles anymore, you're probably going to get crushed also, if you had to guess, because this does not look stable. So
Hey, at least you won't die to the goblins or the trolls.
that's true. But there is the troll in front of you, and clearly he's not paying attention to you. He's paying attention
No,
to the gate.
she's gonna attack the troll. That's a thing that she is. She feels she can. That's where her priority is right now.
Okay.
She most likely, hopefully, knocking on wood, can do more damage to the troll than healing to the people in the tower. So
Logical. Okay, so she runs up, or pulls herself up the rest of the way, I guess. Now, how do you want to do this? Because he's right below you, so you could just double axe to the head, like on top of him. Like, what do you want to do? You can't hit him from the roof, but you could jump. It's not much of a jump. Like, it just.
that's the thing. If she what I envision is
It's a little hop, really.
What I envision is, as soon as he's in range, she basically shrieks a battle cry, gets on his shoulders with her axes, and goes thunk, ideally into like his eyes.
Dig it. All right, I'm all about it. So let me have you
We're
make.
using inspiration.
I figured. Let me have you make a dexterity check to make sure you make the jump. It's not difficult. I would just recommend not critically failing it. Woo! Like.
It's a nice recommendation.
Oh, that's a saving throw. Wait, so just dexterity check. That's
check,
just
yes,
just
check.
straight up.
Yeah. Actually, I'll take acrobatics too. I should have said. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'll take
okay.
it, but you can re-roll that.
Good,
I'll take
Good.
I'll take acrobatics.
You told me not to do.
I'll take acrobatics. Yes.
Yeah, acrobatics. Let's do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
The 5 would not have been, but that's fine.
Okay.
So you land on his shoulders. He's like, "Roar." Okay, so he kind of rears back, and now you can, if you wish, do the double axe handle thing.
She screams, "For Selduin!"
Let's see. I'm going to give you advantage on... Now, there's good news and bad news. I'm going to give you advantage on these attacks because you are literally on his shoulders. Like, there's not
Okay.
much to miss. The bad news is you're also in the middle of fire, so you are going
That's
to be
fine.
caught on fire. But having said that, I would say... even with advantage, that second one is not going to hit.
Not gonna
The
But
first one will, though.
she is the river. She's made of water. She can't burn.
It doesn't matter. Yeah,
She's
sure.
just dodging the flames.
Exactly.
Right. So that is 8 damage.
All right. You can see, you can smell the foul smell of burned troll skin and blood melding together.
Ugh.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning. So, yeah, who started all this fire? Okay, so there's that. Now you were on his back, and we'll see what happens if he tries to throw you
Actually,
off.
what I was envisioning was her on his shoulders.
Or either way, that's fine. You can be on his shoulders.
Like just imagining the shape of cave troll. I feel like there's a lot of back, but
Yeah.
not a lot. Yeah.
You could do that. But now, are you trying to balance on his essentially.
She's gonna like stay clinging there and keep on trying to do damage to him as much as she can, and keeping him away from the gate.
Okay, that sounds good. Please note you are now on fire.
That's fine.
As I warned you.
Now on fire.
Poisoned fire.
Wait. Where is that meme of the dog and the fire going? This is fine.
I know, it's like, exactly. This is fine. Exactly. Okay. Okay. Stone is just gonna stay where he is, I gather.
He was told to stay with Tawny.
Is gonna stay with Tawny. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
He and I think what he's gonna do is just like adopt defensive stance around Tawny.
Okay. Yeah, we need a quote bot. I know we do, Echo. Okay, that's fine. All right, Robar.
So the first hit kind of knocked the iron doors open a little bit.
Well, not really. You could. They shivered a bit.
Shiver.
Like you can. Yeah, like. So.
Shist. Okay. All right. So Robar is going to step up between these two guys right to the door.
Okay.
And he is going to just take in a huge lungful of air and let out just a roar of revealing royalty.
Yes!
Ooh, nice. Okay.
Since it does not specify that his enemy has to see him,
right?
It could be a battle shout or whatever. He's trying to get within range so that.
Okay. I need to remember what royalty revealed does. I know it's great.
It's pretty good.
Something about healing and
There is
scary.
1d6 healing to any allies within 10 feet.
Do you have it there?
Yeah.
Okay, you're looking at it. Okay, so 1d6 healing. All right, so go ahead and roll that for him.
Okay. Well, it's for any ally within 10 feet.
Yeah, so roll the 1d6, and then that's going to apply to all of them.
Okay. So 1d6 is 3 points.
Okay, so that means 3 to the townspeople, 3 to the river as well.
Mm-hmm. And probably Tawny.
Go for a
Tawny,
burn
yep.
for 1 round.
And the troll now has to make a DC charisma save against DC 15.
Charisma save?
Charisma save.
Amazing.
No, I'm sorry, it's a wisdom save.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that's much better. Let me tell you,
Oh, yeah, this is a really personable troll.
this guy spends a lot of time in libraries, like a lot of, you know, not in meditation, I should say, like really very zen troll. Okay, wisdom, really. Okay, DC what?
DC 15.
Yeah, no. That's not happening. Nope.
The
fail.
troll is now frightened and must run away from Robar.
Okay. So, I wonder if he's going to do that on his turn. That's immediate.
Just imagining River going,
must spend its turn trying
Yeah.
to move as far away from you as it can.
I thought so. This is going to be fun. All right. Got it.
into
Got
the fire.
Yep, exactly. All right.
It cannot take reactions. For its action, it can only use the dash action to try to escape.
Okay. Yeah, charisma. Okay, see you, Coven. Okay, got it. Cool. Thank you very much. Awesome stuff. Robar is going to stay there. The archers actually are going to fire, and the only one they can't fire at the trolls. They're really just going to fire at the one poor sap who's left in the tower, and so all those shots are going to go at them. Go at him, I mean. Yeah, okay. Well, 2 of those hit out of the 12, and that's, you know, that's going to be the end of that guy, unfortunately. Okay, and that's going to lead us to Inga.
So gate's still up?
The gate is still up, yes.
Okay, So Inga has no idea what's going on the other side with Ripper.
Nope, she just heard the yelling of, I am Robar, started, king of the... You know, you heard that.
Wait, where's Robar anyway? I don't see him on
He's
the map.
right up against the gate.
Right at the gate.
Ah.
Right against it.
Okay. He was hidden.
No, I am revealed.
Evidently not. I guess Inga would like run up here then, as far as she can. Like she was here, right? So
Okay.
how far is that?
That'll be 15
How far can
feet.
she run?
15. Well, I mean, her normal movement's 25, I think.
Yeah.
So she can.
No,
move,
wait. Who had his turn before Inga?
Robar does in the river.
Okay, never mind. Then yeah, like up here.
Okay. Are you going into the tower?
Yeah.
Okay. So first level. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Is that it?
Like I can't shoot anything from here yet, can I?
No.
Oh, okay.
But
then... Wait.
You
what
could
can I
get
do?
to the. You could get to the here if you wish, and you could get to the arrow slit and see. But you're not.
Oh
gonna
yeah,
be
that's
able,
what
yeah.
I mean to do. Yeah,
Okay,
I just
that's
don't know how far.
Yeah, you can do that if you wanna.
Okay.
You can do that. So.
Okay, so Inga sees the chaos unfold. Yes.
Yes, for sure.
Okay. Oh wait, didn't take a double action. Okay. Ha! Move action, whatever. So how bad does River look right now, and the troll?
You can't see them yet. You can because of where your position is. You can only see the goblins on the other side of the bank.
Okay.
She can call out to River if she wants.
Oh, okay. No. In that case, Inga would like try to get up on the gate, like.
Get up on the roof.
Yeah, to like properly see what's going on.
Okay.
So
then
like
I'll
take
allow you to
her
do that.
action.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can get up on the
Yeah.
roof, but you can't. That's gonna be the end of like your turn when you do
Yeah.
that. But you're
Yeah.
now up on here, so we'll just
Yeah.
say you're on that second floor, and you can now see down, and you can see that River's on fire. The troll is on fire. The troll also looks really terrified, and
River looks fine. River's
sure.
like focused and like
Yeah.
stabinating at this.
Is there like a bucket with water somewhere?
not in here.
Not in.
There's only
okay.
oil. Do you want to throw some?
Plenty of oil.
No.
yeah.
That's like.
No, actually, the oil's gone. The oil's now all gone.
No, there's still 2 buckets left.
Oh.
He said there were 4 buckets of oil.
Yeah, that's right. There's two. There's two of
Two
the
left.
clay pots left. Yeah.
Big
Yes.
pop.
No. In that case, Inga just stays there for now.
Okay. On its turn, the troll roaring runs straight away through the fire, taking terrible amounts of damage as it just like charges through, just like "Roar!" And there is this horrified like just sort of shriek, and you go with him, of course, River.
Oh, great.
So
Amazing.
there's this horrified shriek from the goblins as they can see him, and then you hear sort of shouted commands, and you can see the goblins starting to like sort of like sort of walk back as they see this happening. And finally, it just as he continues to charge towards them, you hear bowstrings twang and several arrows light into the troll, and the troll sort of staggers kind of around and then wailing plunges over the side with you into the river. And so there's this like steam goes up. And Fire, you are now in the river. Inga, from your position on the roof, you can see the goblins sort of falling back, and they begin to run. They're like bolting towards the rest of the army. The wolves also pull back as well. Now, the entire army is not in retreat, just like these guys, and the rest of the army is well back from the fight, like way out of range. But definitely these guys are backing away. The wolves also bolt as well. And this troll, which is now very much dead, is lying face down in the river, as are you, River. And as you look up for just a moment, Inga, silhouetted against one little shaft of light from the fading sun that shoots through these crows that are flowing above you, you can see what looks like one single, solitary, large black dot against the sun. It looks to be not a crow, but a raven. And as the raven flies towards you with River drifting down the running river, we're going to bring this session to a close. So,
I want to slightly call shenanigans on like not being able to jump off the running troll at any point. But whatever, the river is in for a literal element.
yeah, well, you know why? So for one thing, you've got a few, you only have a few seconds to kind of react to this. Now, you're not, let's be clear, he doesn't like grab you and bring you down to the bottom with him.
No.
You can definitely swim and do all that kind of stuff.
I mean,
if
it
you
might
want,
actually be better considering how fast the current is.
Also,
for her
you're
to-
not on fire now.
That's true.
So
But it might actually be a good thing to be on top of like a lot of bulk that
True.
before the current does its work. So
that's true. I took out the troll, but just assume that you're on the back of the troll in case I forget that.
Okay.
Next time, because
Gotcha.
you are the case. That is the case. So yes. So River is floating, and Inga sees all this happening, and wow, things are going down, people. So, you have apparently, for the moment, maybe survived round 2 of this
Amazing.
multi-stage combat. Good stuff, folks. This is very much not easy. The Hill Troll is a very, very bad opponent, and you can see why, and very dangerous. But there is a remaining door. And by the way, that gate, if Inga had not spent time to repair it, that
gate would have been gone.
They would have been pouring in right now, so like they needed that. That was crazy stuff. Anyway, yeah, plus the troll broke your fall. Exactly. There's all kinds of things that made that happen. It's now like a nice little boat, like a pleasant little raft. Anyway, so I am going to close up shop. I'm going
The troll is literally going to be under the bridge, like it should.
Oh, that's true. For about 5 seconds. It just passed by. So yes. I should say once we get out of combat, the poison is probably going to pass fairly quickly. Poison lasts for 10 rounds, incidentally, so it lasts for a long time. So you only were about through 5 rounds of the poison, but out of combat it passes pretty quickly. Yes, a minute of poison, yeah. So that poison was something else. But I'm going to start.
Chocolate.
This is going to be. It's going to be a pleasant Christmas experience next session as we get out of this problem well, and we see the Raven. But I'm going to start with Amal on the bottom.
Christmas Raven.
Good stuff today. I loved the image of you leaping on top of the troll to sort of do that extra damage. Plus, the songs of slaying definitely helped, and so it was an active session. I also like the idea of you kind of just quickly running up the tower to try to be like, no, you son of a, type of thing. So it was cool. How did you feel about today, and where will the lovely folks see you next?
It's great. It's always interesting when there's like battle rounds, but that mostly involve standing still. Yeah. So I was glad when it was like when there were when opportunities to be active presented themselves. So that
Siege, I know, yeah.
But but no, it's always great. Cave trolls are terrifying. But I love Rabar revealing his royalty.
That was really important too.
That was great. No, it was awesome. Where can people find me? Good question. Where am I? Besides my
Canada.
office. Canada. Oh yeah, that's true. So you can find me on Substack, amal.substack.com. I am not traveling anywhere until March of next year, which I'm very excited about. So I'm just staying put and doing stationary sorts of work. But I will say that books make great Christmas gifts. That's about it. I'm on Twitter hiatus until the end of the week, hopefully. But otherwise, you'll be able to find me there again at Tithenai, Tithenai. That's probably me. Yeah. It'll be by the time we play next session, I will be a year older.
That's right.
I felt myself aging during this combat.
This is what it feels like. This is. I just wanted to give you a literal interpretation of your dissertation experience.
Oh my god!
Fighting a troll. You just. But listen. But eventually the troll died, and that will be the case with the disc too. So.
Did I actually since the last time we played, I did see Frozen 2.
No spoilers.
Good, right?
No spoilers. It's wonderful. I loved it. I cried a whole lot. There I have problems with it, but you can find me talking about them on my Substack. But the first trailer from Frozen 2 that involves like seeing Elsa facing down the roiling ocean at night and trying to climb the ocean using only her ice powers. That is the most emotionally accurate visualization of what it's like to do a PhD that I've ever.
Oh yes, I read this. Yeah,
So,
I read this from you. That's true.
But yeah, that's so anyway, Frozen 2, good fun. Not good fun. I cried a lot. But
Good cry.
it's also
Surprisingly good
very
music and
beautiful.
surprisingly challenging music, actually.
Yeah,
More than I thought.
it's
So.
very, very beautiful to behold as well. Like,
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
if you're holding off seeing it, it's really, really well worth seeing in theaters. I did not see it in 3D because I hate 3D, but
Agree. Same.
But it's really, really well worth seeing. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. But caveat that no action, no whatever. Just go see it and have your own feelings about it. But yeah, so that's me, and I'll see you guys next week.
Good stuff. Thanks, Mel. Look forward to next. I think it is next week that we have. Yes, for this, I believe. So that is going to be good. Next, moving right along, Terry, great stuff today as well. It really cracked me up a little bit when it was just like, I was like, oh, wisdom save, and then critical fail. You're like, God damn it!
Yeah.
Just like he did bellow right at your face. I mean, like he did.
Yeah.
I would be
guess.
terrified. How did you feel about today, and where will the lovely people see next?
No, today was as always a lot of fun though. I'm sorry that I'm so I'm a bit tired today. But yeah. I hope we can survive this. It's like always ending with these cliffhangers, of course. At least not a literal one this time.
That's true. It's just a river floating instead of a cliffhanger.
A river floating,
so,
yeah.
River float.
Yeah, I can, like, the first thing that popped up into my mind was, like, that scene where Viggo Mortensen, like, almost drowned in, like, actually when they filmed that scene of Aragorn almost drowning,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yep.
oof.
Yep.
Yeah, so...
Yep, it's powerful. It's a running river for a reason.
Yeah.
Where would lovely folks find you online, etc.?
Twitter, Instagram, that kind of jazz, Atari Toons. And here next Tuesday.
And here next Tuesday. There will, by the way, we will not have unfortunately, Game Book Illustration stream because of the holidays this time, because it's literally Christmas Eve and the 31st, New Year's Eve, so it's not great. But Tolkien Tuesdays will return in January when we will continue our Game Book Illustrations and continue, of course, with this adventure too. So
I could do that if I was in your time zone, but like for me that's in the evening, so that doesn't.
It's totally fine. Holidays are holidays, not a big deal. It's totally fine. But thank you, Terry. Great stuff as always. You can also find out more about Mr. Will Jones and Counter Roleplay. You should check him out. He's an awesome guy, and we hope that Will feels better, and we will have him back next week because that would be great. And the full crew will definitely have to deal with this as we head towards the latter stages of this battle, which again, probably the most epic battle we've had to date, but that is intended to be that way, so it sort of fits in this regard. So you should check him out. Last but certainly not least, of course, Mr. Trendane Sparks. It was fun watching. Tani was having to deal with so much stuff. It wasn't just healing. I mean, you had to deal with that. You had to close the door. You had to get the kid out of the way. Like the whole business with the net. And I remembered what you had said at the end of our last session, where you're like, "Well, I sent the kid out, and now, oh God!" And sure enough, when he came back, there we go. So, how'd you feel about today? Where will the lovely people see you next?
As for that latter bit, I don't know where they'll see me next. That's still kind of sort of up in the air.
Up in the air a bit,
But what I think of today, I'm always worried that we are subject to plot armor. That and no matter how many times you say that that's not the case, there's still always just some niggling little part of me that's like, no, there's plot armor going on.
I swear to God, I can't convince you other than just saying it. I mean, listen, in Esper Genesis, for example, Zach would have been dead. He had 2 death saves, and he managed to get inspired and make his last death save. He had 2 death failures. So, and that was him rolling it, not me. So it's not. It really isn't.
Sure. So, yeah, I'm sure that this Raven is going to come flying back and just hit Robar in the eye and kill him. It's like a lawn dart. But yeah, there were moments where I was like, we should not survive this. There is no way that we should survive this. And then I was watching all the various pieces and parts moving together, and I'm like, if they can all get together close enough that I can reveal royalty through that door,
Yeah, that was
we
really
might have a
important too.
chance.
That troll was like, yeah. And then when you said charisma and then wisdom, I'm like, well, I mean, he's not like the troll is not like a 0, but it's just not his thing. Like, you know, like, oh, sure, I'm fine. Like he just hears this guy like "Roar" on the other side of the door, you know. So,
but yeah, I'm glad that it came out the way that it did. We'll need to make sure to fill Will in on what happened so he doesn't try to reveal royalty again next week.
exactly.
Because that's a little.
You've already revealed that, son.
Tawny has one heal left.
Yep. And you guys got one preparation die left as well.
Yeah. This is gonna be. I was thinking about it earlier today before we started. That I know I've got that potion that gives hit die back.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't apply to his ability to heal people.
Right, but if you get a short rest, which, you know, maybe you will, who knows, that would help. So
right, because that would just reset everything for Tommy.
Right. So
we'll see.
Good stuff. And we will, yes, you may, Tren, as far as here, now you will see Tren, of course, on Curse of Strahd, but you may also see Tren on, you will see Tren on the Arvocalis, but we're trying to decide whether or not we originally had Christmas Carol for the 17th, but it turns out that Little Red Dot can't do the 17th, so we're trying to decide whether we're going to try to do tonight, the 17th, or Christmas Eve. It looks like Rob, Dot, and Tren could do tonight, Rob, Zach, Tren, and maybe Russ could do the 17th, and Dot, Tren, and Russ could do the 24th. Which all that adds up to that I think the best guess is to stay with the 17th because it's the one that gives us the chance of the most people. So my guess is we're going to stay with the 17th. But that is kind of what Tren's talking about. And it's a shame that we can't have absolutely everybody, but, you know, it's holidays and all that stuff. So we will see.
So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to pick up the shortest possible version of the thing because we're going to have like 3 people bow out at the last minute and it's just going to wind up being you and me. And he'll just be like, Ebenezer was a bad dude. He got shit scared out of him by a bunch of ghosts, and then he learned his lesson. And Merry Christmas, one and all.
Exactly. God bless us, everyone. Like, oh, that was really underwhelming. I think.
Yeah. Well,
but we'll see. Anyway, but thank you to Tren. Good stuff today, as always, and thank you as always to chat as well. I have got to sign off quickly because I got to get cruising here and I get things set up. So I will say goodbye to my wonderful party. I will see you folks next week. Thank you to Tren. Thank you to Will. Feel better, Will. Thank you to Terry Tunes, and thank you to Amal. All of whom have gone off to their various places. You're all lovely people, and Shaq, we get some love for them. Thank you all so much, and I'll talk to you in this particular case. Tren is the only one here at the moment. Soon. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Okay. All right, folks. So now we've got to go quick because what I realized, and I'm kind of annoyed at myself that I didn't do this, is I realized that I have got... I have to think if I have time to do this. Because technically we're supposed to do nominations today for the Chat Chosen Game of the Month. I don't think I can do that. I'm going to have to move the nominations forward. I was hoping I could maybe do that today, but we ran over too far. Oh, God, wait. Sorry. We went over too far, and I can't. That's just a bad idea. So I'm not going to do that because I do need to get prepared for my next session, which is coming up in just about 20 minutes over on GOG. So I am going to be doing the Chat Chosen Game of the Month nominations then. I'll move that over to Friday is when I will move that to, which is... actually, I might do it on Thursday. I take that back because I'll be doing this on Thursday. So let me just write that down. Okay, let's see... Okay. Nominations is next week? Oh, is it really? Oh, yeah. That's right. Because it's, you're right. Okay. Thanks, Echo. That's good. Good. So I don't have to worry about prepping something else. Okay, good. That's lovely because I don't really have time. So I'm glad. Okay. So that is going to do it for me for today. I want to thank everyone for being here. You are all lovely people. No raid today because we are going to be hanging out and going over to GOG at 4 p.m. Eastern for the next session of D&D with GOG Storm King's Thunder. So the tabletop does not stop. Remember too that I will be back on Thursday evening at 8:30 p.m. for for another class from Cat Rambo, the Rambo Academy for Wayward Writers. That's going to be again on Thursday evening. And then Friday night, I believe, let me see. Friday night, I have got, let me just double check and see what I've got listed on Friday night. Friday night, I've got, there we go. Friday night, I have got, oh yes, that's right. This Friday, I have got my band, The Road, will be playing a show up at the Lily Pad in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So that's going to be happening on Friday the 13th, which is, I'm sure, going to be very lucky. So that's going to be happening at 10 p.m. Eastern. So there will not be a normal stream on that day. That will be something I will be streaming it from it, though, but it'll be a live event. So you can do that. And if you happen to be in the Cambridge, Massachusetts area, I'd love to see all of you there. Then Saturday, the 14th, in the evening at 7 p.m. Eastern, will be our next session of D&D with Infinity and Beyond Curse of Strahd. So it is a jam-packed tabletop week for us, and you will hear more from these people next week as we move on from there. But that's going to be it for me. So I got to rise up on out of here. Don't forget about the YouTube, !ArvTube, the Twitter, !ArvTweets, the Discord, !ArvCord. Don't forget as well about the website, arvanelleron.com. Patreon is right there, !ArvTreon. Thank you so much again to Echo for the new support of that. The shop, !Arv Shop, where you can get merchandise, will be over there as well. And last but certainly not least, of course, that sub button, which a number of used today, which is about 65, 66 subs now. Thank you to the gift subs given by Kerflop and all those who resubbed and things like that. I really appreciate it. It makes a difference. Please keep spreading the word and supporting if you can. And thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to my wonderful mods, Aridinel, Backburner, Coven Guy. Thank you so much to my wonderful subscribers, Aridinel, Backburner, Coven Guy, Echo Alpha, Nonstop, Wise Growth, Lone Wolf, and Trendane. Again, great job, Trend. Thanks to my wonderful players, but I'll come back to them. Thank you to my regular viewers, Alpha Judicus, Amalo, Matar, Axiomatic, Big Boss, Commander Root, Dragonspear, Ekag, Evil Marinin, Carohemd, Lurks, Mubat, I guess, Marinda, Tharazin, U Christensen, V&K, Valerian Gamer, Video Store Cowboy, and Virgo Praz. And thank you as well to my wonderful players today. Thank you to Trendane, thank you to Terry Tunes, and thank you to Amal for their wonderful play. Can't wait to have them back and see what they do about this whole situation that happens in the next week. I also want to remind everybody, as Coven Guy said, definitely try to support by pre-ordering, if you can, my graphic novel Icarus, and check out the Greyshade Kickstarter, Greyshade KS. That's it for me. Catch you lovely people soon. I will see you over on GOG at 4 p.m. Until then, and all that, everyone be good to each other. Have a good night for now.